Hey!
What up, cousin?
Woo!
Good,
What's
how are
going
you?
on?
I'm all right, man. How have you been?
Tired as fuck.
Yeah, that's what working to get you. Working and moving around and traveling and things.
That's what I'm trying.
Pre-show. And we are officially live at 5
Full
slash
course.
Central
Huh?
Central from the Piranha Pond. What's up,
That was
everybody?
all the way official.
What's up, everybody? I am the Kingfish Mac. Welcome back, Director of Parks and Recs. Welcome back to the pond, you guys. Joined as usual, not so usually,
But
by
we in this deep.
honors in the pond. My brother from another mother, Mr. Nick Nass. What's happening with you, baby boy?
Oh man, still shaking and quaking. You know what I'm saying? Try not to cause an earthquake, 9.10 or something like that. Making
Keep
it
it in
happen.
no magnitudes.
And under me, but
Yeah,
never
no
asunder me,
attitude.
is my boy, Mr. Frank. What's happening with
What
you,
it
Frank?
do? I'm in the pond, baby. You know what I'm saying? We in this bitch. I'm happy.
Heard that. Toes wet. And you guys know what's happening. Y'all know who brings all the beauty, luster, and class to the pond. It's my beautiful cousin, Miss Nick Mo. What's up with you, Shell?
Hey, everybody.
Well,
Hey,
I miss you guys. It ain't like I ain't talked to all y'all on separate shit and together, but not online in the pond where we're supposed to be.
Yeah,
I mean, we've
we
been
ain't
on
been
dry
piranha.
land. We've been on dry land operating like some motherfucking turtles or something and shit, right?
Right. You
And
know what I'm saying?
and I've been needing to get wet.
Motherfucking,
Been needing to get wet
motherfucking
around this.
frogs or something. You know what
a-
I'm
allegedly, allegedly.
saying?
But it's definitely good to have all the piranhas back in the pond at one time. I miss you guys. Uh,
Oh, yeah, miss
and
you too.
shit, let's get this bitch started. What's been going
Hold
on
on,
with you,
hold on,
Mister?
hold on, hold on, hold on, bro. Hey, Nas, man, how do you feel about the little font we using for the day? You see our
What?
piranha pine font? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I like the little intro and everything. Look,
Oh, the intro
we
is gangster.
sophisticated
The
in
intro is
motion.
beast,
You know what I'm saying? Mac been hard at work with probably Fifi with
man.
some executive producing. You know what I'm saying? Getting us
Yeah,
right, getting
man.
us tight. You know what I'm saying? So we could bring the light. You know what I'm saying? To all the people in the
Mhm.
world that's blinded, but we're gonna make you see. Literally make you see.
I had to
and
ask
you,
because me and Mo gave our opinions already, so I had to hear yours. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you're always leaving me out, man. I'm always dropping out, man. Like I'm, you know what I'm saying? Dropping out the whole accord on shit. You know what I'm saying? Me in the woods, not the hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of limited on a whole bunch of little things.
said
You
he
know,
kind of
so
limited.
Oh,
yeah, it's limited for real. You know what I'm saying?
So
But
what you?
hey, but I'm gonna make it happen, man. This is my lifestyle now, man. Piranha pond, swimming all day. You know what I'm saying? Looking for fresh blood to drop in the water. You know what I'm saying? With little eyedroppers. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And here we come. You know what I'm saying? So let's get it cracking.
I heard the fuck out
1984
of that.
Piranhas. You know what I'm saying? The movie.
you know what I'm saying? Ready to chomp you niggas
So
up.
what's been going on in y'all world, man? Like what's been going on in the world, man? I know Mac hit me with all kind of, you know what I'm saying? I started investing in homework now. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like as far as current events and stuff, man, and start taking like little notes. You know what I'm saying? So instead of keeping it in my head, putting it down on some kind of electronic device. You know what I'm saying? So what's on y'all mind? I know y'all itching for the scratch, but we ain't
Well,
itching. I mean
I was
scratch
go.
this. Yeah, let's get this. Go ahead.
Well, I was trying to go around, but shit, you can run this motherfucker. Let's do it. Shit, go ahead, do your thing.
Nah, man. I'm saying y'all got me up with man. I just trying to unleash the beats. You know what I'm saying? Well, so my thing is right.
He
Okay,
misses
so
us.
here,
That
here. Let me
you
do it
know
like
these
this,
recent.
right? Let me do it like this, bro, so we can keep some order to the pine and shit. Because I see we fixing to be all over the place and
Already.
kind
Out
of
of order.
raggedy about it,
Out of
and shit,
order.
right? So I'm gonna go around. I want to find out what you guys been up to since we've seen you last, and we can start with you, Nick. You started off saying something about researching and something. What you been up to, bro?
You know, maintaining my health first of all. You know what I'm saying? Blessing the God. But other than that,
Always,
man, you've been
always
feeling
the
my.
prime.
You know what I'm saying? You've been yeah. So you've been shooting me some bangers, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like throwing up the set. You know what I'm saying? I'm a gang member for the Piranha Pod now. How about that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm coming with all informational and security officer right there. So to say this
Piranha
right that
Pond gang
applying
banging.
myself. So my thing is, man, you've been hitting me with some real, mind blowing things and come to some revelations on a lot of this stuff, right? That's just going on in the world today, right? And me getting back into this, what we used to call a swing of things, is really um, a strong push for all four of us. You know what I'm saying? To actually, you know, indulge into this, man. Like it's our food for thought. You know what I'm saying? In the Piranha Pod. So with that, man,
Frank, what you been
the
up?
King's Corner,
Oh, my bad.
cracking. Yeah, I'm ready to get this lesson.
Okay.
That's just a little bit.
Frank, what you been up to?
Oh man, well, okay. Official news. Due to fear, ain't COVID, but I'm putting more on fear. They canceled my kids' goddamn season, bro. Don't nobody want to play us no more. So I
Whoa,
got that going on. You know what I'm saying? Getting rescued by my man K-Mac yesterday. That was always an adventure. Uh,
That's what
always
we
there
do.
on the call. My motherfucking rescue ranger in the building.
You didn't.
The
You
Brown
didn't. You didn't.
Ranger.
Look, you didn't done the same for me. We don't keep score like that.
Oh, of course. I'm just, flowers.
Mhm.
And so yeah, that's been up, man. I'm kind of disappointed, man. My man was just getting used to the grind. They still trying to practice and shit on the offhand. We put in a bid to get in the Snoops League. They just started. They'll be a game behind, right? So we trying to get in the Snoop League, man. We'll know by Saturday or Monday, winning too. And but yeah, man, they ended us in the King League, bro. Everybody, the 8U, the 8-year-olds and shit, they got the higher competition going like the 12 and up. But the younger cats, they dropped out. They dropped out on us, bro.
Shell, did I share this
So
on your page already?
Yes, about 3 minutes ago. Yeah.
my
Great. So
son's road to the Hall of Fame has been paused, y'all. It's paused.
Well,
it's
I
always
mean,
next
he gonna
season,
be all right.
and
No
he
pancakes.
got a good jump start, right? He got a
Yeah,
good
we on
jump
pause.
start.
the most important thing is that he stays safe. So.
Oh yeah, he gonna, I mean, playing is playing. We can't guarantee something, but we gonna do what we can do to make sure we stay
Oh
safe.
yeah, we're gonna do what we do on our part.
Concussion, helmet pads, and all the stuff. We all over it. Trying to
And
get him into that
Shell,
baseball game though.
Shell, we ain't seen you in a month of Sundays. Last time we talked to you, you was telling us about a new job situation, but you didn't go into no detail or nothing. Uh, but I do notice that you're back in school and you're working. What's been going on with
And
you,
studying and stuff. Look at you though. Sure.
Miss
Well,
Renaissance woman?
I am in school and and I do volunteer sometimes.
Getting that
Volunteer
dough.
for what though?
Volunteering, getting that dough, huh?
Yeah, but volunteer for what though? what fine charity has the blessing of your grace? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I'm doing some volunteering with them in the medical profession right now. So,
Okay. That's
yeah.
it. Trying to get that foot in.
Yeah, you know, saying
It's like
AKA
an internship or just standard
Nick
volunteering.
Moore.
What happened, Nick? What
Uh,
you say?
more like internship. Yeah, we go with
Okay.
that.
Grind and
So
shine,
it's
then,
AKA
goddammit.
it's called Nick Mo Pimpin' Affair. You know what I'm saying? So she's hosting parties and getting people mind right. I can see that right there.
A Nick Mo Pimpin' affair. A Mo Pimpin'
Yeah.
affair.
the luxurious drinks, you know what I'm saying? That's one of
The
these
party hosting might not be a
days I
bad
get to
thing, and she hell of
get
a
down into the
bartender from
big
what I hear.
and
That
play.
would be bad. Party hosting would not be
Oh
bad,
yeah. That's in the family. That's
and
in
she
the
can mix a
family.
drink. She be mixing them
I
drinks.
haven't thought about my phone.
I
I
can't
thought
see
it
my
was my
name joint.
bill, so I paid my bill, but it's not even letting me send out text at all, which is why I didn't get y'all.
Mm.
Could it be the
And
function of a phone as opposed to the
I'm
bill?
going to reboot it, but I
Can you
thought it was
call?
just me.
Can you call out?
I'm not quite sure because I ain't. I'm gonna reboot it first and see. I mean, when I was outside, I did get a message on my watch. No, I came back in, and something about my phone said to like no sim, no didn't have a sim or something. I'm like, what? I never got that message before, so I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna just charge it to the game. I said, well, maybe it's my bill. I'll go ahead and pay my bill. Just on the offhand and stuff like that. So I paid my bill, and but now it's like, it's still like in the. I'm rebooting. I'm gonna see what it do, but it's just kind of strange that it's doing that. So I didn't know what it is. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, your name is
yeah. So
missing on the bottom.
my days have really been like right, right.
Okay. But you maintain it though, huh? You
Yeah.
maintain it?
I mean,
Of course.
All right.
She's a piranha. Why
I
not?
am.
Why would she not?
Okay, look. So now y'all text this. Oh, okay. So okay, it must have been that. Oh, look, I love it. Yeah, where you at? All that shit just came through.
Hilarious.
Wow. Okay, I
Just
think
Yeah.
I
look,
just must have had to reboot. Yeah, don't mind. Shit,
your
else got
phone,
going
your
on.
phone, your phone wasn't on Nick Mo status. It was on Nick Nash status.
Right.
Trust.
It was like, and I was
What did-
connected to good Wi-Fi.
Yeah, let's get to
I'm
that.
playing with you, Nick.
My nigga hit me up the other night. I don't know what time of night it was. I'm just gonna say it was 4:30 in the morning. Shit, might as well, right? Nigga talking about, all the text just came through. What y'all talking about? I said, nigga, you started the text, nigga. That shit was hours ago.
The text just
For real, huh?
so that day when you hold on, so that day when Frank was just like what he was texting like he wanted to
Right.
go on something like and you was just like
Why y'all clouded?
because you was texting all day up
You
until
was just
basically
dropping them, bro. You was dropping them like blackout, blackout, blackout. It'll take like 20 minutes to drop some more. Blackout, blackout, blackout.
maybe 20 minutes until he had actually came on and was like, okay, well, y'all gonna do this for real. And then you was like, yeah, Nick in. And then he didn't respond.
Didn't
I was
respond.
laughing in the background. And then Key was like, question mark? And he was like, nah, I don't think he is.
Then this nigga,
But-
All right, man.
then the
I know
nigga
y'all
gonna
talk about my phone escapades.
then they gonna hit me at drunk o'clock a.m. and shit, right? Talking about what y'all talking about. Nigga, I'm talking about this Tito's, nigga. What you talking about?
Drunk 30 a.m., nigga.
Drunk 30 a.m. You got
I said, oh, y'all
right.
on? I said, oh, y'all on? I'm missing some late night rounding.
It
Okay,
was a
so
lot.
yeah,
That's
so
all
we
right.
know,
I'm
man,
up
that
for it.
I will refine my phone game. So
Hey, Mama Nell. Love you.
Hey,
hey.
Dedication.
So if she's back in normal
dedication.
face, same bad channel, same bad
Blah!
time.
Except not
All right,
really.
well, here, here's let's go on and get in one. We haven't been all four of us in the same room in a minute. Well, solidly in a minute. And as it turns out, I'm gonna be the asshole today, right? I'm gonna be the I told you so motherfucker, right? So here, let me hit y'all with a dose of this right quick.
What we
3
got?
is the time, and our top story: the waiting is over. Today is D-Day for thousands of California workers to have to prove they are vaccinated or else.
Yeah, the vaccine mandate going into effect as of this morning. Healthcare workers, first responders, all of that. And so for more on the story, we're following this in the South Bay, particularly because a lot of city employees are going to have to get vaccinated too. Crump Sarah Stinson's been tracking all of it. Let's get the latest from her now in San Jose. Sarah?
All San Jose city workers have to be vaccinated starting today. Today's the deadline. They've known about it for at least about a month now. So they have to get that done. And if they don't, well, as you said, they're going to face consequences. They could even lose their job. Now, reporting live from a fire station in San Jose, firefighters, police, they're included in this, of course, because they are city employees. We know at last check, there was about 8% of the fire department still unvaccinated. Those who are refusing to get a shot in the arm in the police and fire department, they say they want options and would rather have a continuation of the current policy that allows for regular testing in place of vaccinations, which started in August. Unvaccinated police agree with that. 87% of San Jose City police officers and staff have shown proof of being vaccinated against COVID-19. The rest have refused the vaccine for religious, medical, or unspecified reasons. Under the vaccine mandate, unvaccinated cops, firefighters, any city worker, they are under the wire here and could face, a big consequence. The police union says as many as 140 officers, though, could resign on their own or retire because of this policy, and that puts public safety at risk. Let's hear from Mayor Sam Liccardo about what happens next after this deadline.
Following other safety protocols like continuing to mask up and really accomplishing what the city's trying to do, keeping individuals safe, as well as respecting an individual's choice.
We're looking at a host of intermediate sanctions so that we don't have to jump to termination. And even if we did, that process itself would take several months.
Uh-oh.
Now, I've reached out to the city to see where they're at in terms of vaccination numbers at this time. Haven't heard back yet, but at last check, 90% of all city workers were vaccinated. So about 10% of them facing these types of consequences, having that conversation of whether or not they could lose their job for not being vaccinated. Stay tuned. This story is very much developing. For now, reporting live in San Jose, Sarah Stinson, back to you.
Can I go first?
Go ahead, Ma.
All right. So this is not a great time for anybody to be out of work. But before we got there, is it the same motherfuckers that was refused to wear a mask? Because this is the next step after that. So how many of those workers that was not vaccinated didn't want to get vaccinated? Again, it's your choice, but did not want to wear a mask. So now we got to take drastic measures. And here we are. Not saying that it's fair, but hey, COVID ain't fair right now. So again, I would before we don't cry for me, Argentina. I want to know how many of them refused to wear a mask when they started out asking you to wear a mask first, because it always is a step before it gets to the step.
Right. Well, I don't have any answers in terms of the numbers. What I do have though is Shell, you
Can y'all
froze
see
up.
me? I
You
know.
froze.
Can y'all hear me though?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, I guess I'm just waiting
Yeah, I
for
can
the
hear you.
freeze. Okay.
Oh, okay. I thought that was your sound avatar. I'm like, shit, that shit is kind of dope. You,
Right.
giving us
My
the
quote, my
I
air,
am not a crook.
my air quote.
Okay, so what I will say is go back. We had 2 podcasts where we discussed this issue, both at the time only person that was vaccinated was Shell, and she was the only one who had a positive recommendation for getting the vaccination. And then we had the conversation again right before I got the first shot, and my position was
Looks like shit gonna start going down, and I might want
right,
to go ahead and get this done. Yeah, you did say that.
there you go.
Yeah.
There you
Right,
go, right
right.
there.
I remember you said you was on it. You was on the eye, and you heard it on the radio, and you hurry up and got 10 lanes over and got off on the exit.
Trying to say.
I'm gonna get out the studio for you to let me back in, okay?
Oh, okay.
66 one aspect of her phone and the other aspect go down.
Frank, what's your thoughts and ideas
Well, fortunately,
on
I'm not a city employee, and I do work for city, but not the city. So I ain't tripping. They ain't tripping. I ain't tripping. They ain't said shit to
well,
me. They ain't said shit to nobody. So until they do, I worry about it then. But as
so
of
here
now,
so here comes the other thing, right? And this is not, like I'm no motherfucking fortune teller or no shit like that. But what's coming next, and it's already in discussions and shit, right? First of all, you got a federal mandate when it comes down to first responders, healthcare workers. Then you have that's federal shit, right? Biden announced that shit the other day. Then you
right, I
got
heard that shit.
here in California, they actually put that shit in the mix as of today, right? But what's also in the conversation, and I forget which states it is that are talking about it, they're talking about working with small businesses, right? In order to have small businesses mandate that their patronage, the customers, show proof of vaccination in order to be served in their business, especially when you're dealing with restaurants, liquor stores, retail shit, when you're talking about hand-to-hand type of scenarios and shit, right? So once again, the push is here. You know what I'm saying? We're looking at the push right in our face. The question is, what do you do about it in terms of I had a real interesting conversation on Facebook with my 20-year-old son because it's something that he posted. I should have posted, but I ain't gonna put him on blast. But basically, he was on some anti-vax, not even anti-vax, just the whole conspiracy type of scenario where if you went and got them shots, then you folded under pressure. And, we didn't go into no detail about why he felt like the vaccination was a bad thing, but the stigma or the fight back against the stigma, right, was very, very apparent, in a young nigga that's out here trying to get money. As a matter of fact, that's what I said to him. I said, look, you know what I'm saying? In a minute, you're going to have to get the shot if you want to get out here and get money and shit, right? And he was like, I ain't got the shot and I'm still getting money. But that shit is at jeopardy. And you might not see it, but I see it clear as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like freshwater fishing and shit, right? I see the motherfucking trout and shit swimming around right there, right below the surface. So what we heading to is exactly what I had said however many months ago, right? We talked about it on that second time, that there was going to be it's going to start with the stigma, right? Social pressure, right? From your neighbor, not from the government. And the social pressure really didn't work. It did in some instances where people felt that it was a political choice, right? Either to get the 2 shots or to resist the vaccination, right? So it became, if you were, more liberal, and then your reasoning was, we have to protect one another. Best way to do that is to get the shot, and then we even protect those who don't have the shot with the whole concept of herd immunity. But what happened is you had a big fucking backlash, you know what I'm saying, to all the pressure that was being kind of put on us by the government, as well as small businesses, because of the government, because of government regulation. Hey, Telly, love you too, babe. Thanks for your support. Appreciate you. Give us a sub over on the YouTube side of the game. Just click sub. It don't cost you nothing. I'm trying to get the numbers up so we can monetize.
What is this?
Huh?
I'll be on my shit. That was a commenter.
Yeah, that's my niece Telly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where'd Shell go?
Shell was having technical D's. She gonna pop back in. I'm waiting for her to come back in. So it started off, like I said, with the social pressure and shit, right? Through individuals, right? Though, like you were the guy in the white horse. If you took the shot, I took one for the team and shit, right? I'm the guinea pig, so the rest of you motherfuckers to see that, this shit is okay. Now go get your fucking shot. You're a fucking dickhead if you don't go get the shot. That kind of was the sentiment, right? And then the other side of the game was, you motherfuckers is sheep if you do go get the shot. This shit ain't tested. It ain't got FDA approval. Microchip. You don't know what the fuck they giving you. How you gonna give me some shit that I don't have in order to fight some shit that I might get? All these different conversations, along with the political positioning, which was, the whole fucking Trump shit, where you just reject science, you reject common sense, and you reject any ideas of taking care of your fellow man simply for a political stance. Fuck that. This is America. We do what the fuck we want to. We're the baddest nation in the world, and you taking my freedoms away. So those are the two sides of the fucking the tug of war. And now what you have is government, small government, states, municipalities, cities, whatever, coming up saying, okay, well, this is the mask mandate for our particular region. And if you operate in a business, you can have 25% of your motherfuckers inside. And then it went to, eventually everybody, full capacity. But if you're fully vaccinated, you're on the green side of the fucking sign. If you're not fully vaccinated, you're on the red side of the sign. You got to wear a mask. So green side, you got the option. Red sign, don't be spreading your fucking germs around the rest of us that, took the fucking shot. And even that didn't work enough to get, enough people on the quote unquote dark side to go get that double tap and shit, right? So now what you got is governmental interference in terms of regulating. First of all, we're going to mandate that if you work for the government, right, that you got to have them 2 shots. I don't give a fuck what you're talking about, what your beliefs is, your personal, religious, whatever the fuck. You do have the right to choose. If you choose to not get the shot, then you choose not to bring your ass up. And then to kind of pass that down to small business in the form of tax breaks, right? And also to pass it down in terms of stigmatized punishment, right? Because imagine this, right? I got 2 shots, Nick, you don't, right? For all intents and purposes, fucking hospital, when it comes to admit either one of us, they don't give a fuck about none of the reasoning why I got 2 shots and you don't, right? We both got COVID. They got 1 bed. I took the shot. You ain't getting in. It's just that fucking simple. and they making it very, very plain and clear. Your insurance fucking premiums. You're gonna get a fucking break and shit, right? If you're fully vaccinated. You're gonna pay a higher premium if you're not vaccinated. So all the things that make some fucking difference in your real life are being affected, but we don't kind of see it because we don't see it until it happens. And then we be like, oh, what the fuck? But I'm saying we on the fucking like people talk about that slippery slope. Nigga, we sliding like a motherfucker. We've been sliding for months.
Yeah. So my whole thing is I'm looking at it a little different, right? So I understand the predicament that I am in, right? But I'm looking at it to break down the city, state.
Go ahead. We got you.
Yeah, you back here.
Oh, his volume went up. Nah, you're on mute, bro.
You gotta unmute it.
Nope. Your shit is go ahead.
You
Talk
got me?
now. Yeah, you in now.
Okay. So my thing is now that what you just showed me is the breakdown of the city, the state, right? For the government to come in and take over. So all those people that's getting affected by having this COVID shot, and the government has the right to, because we're in a dysfunctional state now. So it's going to be military doctors that's going to take over. The police is going to become a military state, just like in the 60s, and they're going to hoard people to come out their house and, like you're right, and get this vaccinated shot that people are not willing to get for whatever unknown reasons, right? And you're absolutely right. So are we mentally prepared for that too? Where the military is rolling down the streets like in a during the Roch riot in Los Angeles, and the people that's that's like you said, not.
Why is that happening? Could it be your earbuds, bro?
Nah, the phone rung.
Okay,
but so
tell them it's podcast time.
My take on it is podcast people, but that is the bigger picture I'm looking at, and it's getting kind of ugly, Matt. You're right. It's the just like you said. Now it's on some real mandated, or saying that if you're not forced to take that we're gonna force you to take it because we try to preserve the right of the United States and the people around us. So, and we got to actually protect the government. So, yeah, it's mandatory. When they're gonna try to make it mandatory instead of mandated.
Same thing.
So I don't know if that makes sense to y'all, but yeah, the military is coming in next, man, to to get us all in.
So you feel like martial law is coming?
In line for. Yeah, of course. Because they just said it on the news, right? They said people, firefighters. So you got military firefighters, you got military police, you got streets are closed off and said, it's like Nazi Germany. Let me see your pass before you get into these places, because it's going to be the part where it's like, okay, just like you said, a fear factor. I'm suffering over here, but the ones that's been vaccinated, is getting all these things, and now you're getting desperate for life. But you said something significant the one in the beginning of the conversation, right, Shell? You was like, so where was the protection for the people in the beginning to get the vaccination? And wearing masks and what we call essential workers. Like the essential workers got shitted on for a little while. Now they're gonna get double shitted on.
Definitely. The beginning of the pandemic, that early stage of the pandemic, there was no they labeled you essential and want you to go back to work.
Made you think that you were special.
If you wasn't in the hospital industry, then they didn't talk about it once. But they wanted restaurants to fucking be open. But they didn't. But there was no protection. What? Jason Zelly?
No, it's sent. No, it's sent us or nothing.
They didn't even give us masks until this was what before after I came back from my scope.
Look,
Or was it a
I
little bit
was
before
I
my scope?
when
I think I went
when
out for
Yeah.
my scope in May. I think it literally like maybe in went out for my scope in May, so maybe like a couple of weeks before that, they had just kind of started. They had just started saying, giving you and enforcing masks. But what that what it, the beginning of the COVID, well, not the beginning, but when people started doing stuff like going
Yeah,
out
like
and
the
stuff
first
like that,
quarter of it.
that was like the beginning of end of February, early March.
And in the beginning, they was having problems getting everybody
Yeah.
masked in June.
So
So I
we
was,
worked for like at
So
least 2 or 3 months.
and even
yeah.
well, I mean, I guess there was, but yeah, it wasn't that
Still,
many masks
You know what I'm
going
saying?
around.
So
That
what's
shit first.
good.
Well, she
so
actually
with that,
started off.
I'm saying right now, right? Yeah. So what I really think this extraordinary push, right, to actually uh get people into this whole mindset. I feel like it's pretty much fear mongering now. You know what I'm saying? Because when the time there was essential workers too, you essentially working now, right? I was telling Mac, like social studies, right? So we are studying a social like a curriculum right now. You know what I'm saying? How is it affecting us socially, economically, and all the rest of this stuff, and people that's already at the end of their strings with just being, just out there that's taking a hit on the essential workers that's not even caught up with the people that was just like, what I'm saying, giving up or businesses closing down.
Hmm.
Then you had to go to the EDD. Now, what's the influx of? Are we going to be in more of a financial situation? And from what I know, if I'm not mistaken, I don't want to feel like I'm speaking out of turn. But September 30th is like the close down of the government. Don't they have to bring atonement for what's going on with the national debt? So how you?
Well,
It's
that was the two bills.
the
From what I
same thing.
understand, the Democratic
It,
was
it is
divided on those
September
two bills
30th.
and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely,
It
they
is
got
You
September
they
know what I'm
got
saying?
a
30th.
Then if
Yes,
the government's
it is.
gonna shut down, so the government's gonna shut down. So when these people come back
Man,
on the shutdown, and what I want to say from
these
what
people
Matt taught
better
me
take their
over the years,
motherfucking
right?
paws
So
back.
sometime in
Fuck that.
October, the you know what I'm saying? So other things shut down. So them two combined with a rush because if the healthcare workers don't take shots, so it's gonna be a rush to take shots, and it's not gonna have enough people to. It's gonna be long lines of people standing in line being exposed before they're exposed. So to me,
They
I'm trying
ready
to
for
make
that.
sense of it. What I just heard right now. You know what I'm
They
saying? So
ready
is
for
it
that.
drive-throughs? Is it this? Is it that? Or they gonna come to your house? You know what I'm saying? So what they gonna stop now? Like you you know what I'm saying? Where's it gonna actually like end? You know what I'm saying?
well, without
And I got a question for y'all. Is this gonna end
let me answer
the
that
fear?
question.
Is it gonna end the fear?
So in terms of there being some mad rush and there being a shortage of
Oh, yeah, they can let that out.
vaccination shots, right? America came under attack, I think 2 weeks ago, because we got a surplus of X amount of billion fucking shots,
Yeah,
first
they
and second
they
shot.
gonna let that happen.
And there's a country somewhere, third world country in India somewhere and shit, right, where they suffering from not having enough for the vaccine and shit, right? And we were being criticized for not donating, the fucking the extra doses that we have or whatever and shit. So I don't think that there's ever going to be uh, a
I
concern about
ain't
shortage
donating that shit because there's
of,
something wrong with that shit.
of the fucking vaccine. Secondly, dealing with that, you got three major companies that um, are providing the vaccine. Hey Tingo, what's up, baby? Love you. Tingo been giving me hella fucking support too, right? She's been posting
Oh
Pine on
yeah.
her fucking Facebook page and some more shit, sharing shit. I love you,
Oh,
sis.
shit. Yeah, we gonna get out there. We're looking.
Um, so you got Pfizer, you got the three different companies and shit, right? That are fucking, it's like the green rush for them, right? All of a sudden you have an opportunity, you know what I'm saying, where you have a captive audience, your target market has to fuck with one of the three of you, right? So it's in your best interest to work together, right? Even though you give the appearance of being in a competitive spirit, there's no other companies and shit, right, that are in the market right now trying to develop this fucking vaccine. Or if there are some companies that I don't know about, they're so far behind these three companies that they don't matter right now, right? So producing more and more fucking doses. This is a synthetic process. It's not like they got to go fucking get the bark of some fucking tree in Africa and shit, right? You convert that shit into the fucking medication. This is a wholly synthetic medication that was designed to replicate the RNA versus the DNA of the protein from the coronavirus 19, right? So it has everything in it except what gets your ass sick, right? Replicated by science. So there ain't no fucking shortage of that shit, nigga. They gonna be producing that shit from here till the motherfucking cows come home. You better believe it. Look.
Well, so my thing is
for the last few months, right? They've been touting the get your shot. First it was get your shot, get your 2 shots. You can get the 1 shot from the fucking Johnson & Johnson, the nigga dose, the 1 shot Ersky and shit, right? And you had whatever little hiccups with the shots or whatever, right? But then they worked that shit out, and they've been touting this shit heavier than anything else, right? Government presidential support, right? Get the fucking shot. Go get this shit, right? And at here we are 3 months later, and what they're saying is, okay, well, what you also gonna need is basically a flu shot every year. You got your 2 shots, 8 months, 10 months, come back, get a booster. It's a flu shot. So they get to fucking create this shit in perpetuity. And guess what? Right now, you got to go show your digital shit. If you're a frontline worker or a federal worker, you're going to have to show your digital shit that I got 2 shots or 1 with Johnson & Johnson. Next year, you're going to have to show you got the booster. So check this out. They're not running out of this medicine, bro. Trust.
So check this out. So I was contemplating about, you know what I'm saying? I was going through some little episodes or whatever. Like we said the last time we talked, with kind of like anxiety and these headaches or whatever, right? So I'm gonna call like this, right? So people not even think about it. So I had got this paper. I don't even know where the paper went. It just mysteriously disappeared, right? So it was like the COVID-19 don't really exist. It then morphed into the Delta variants, and then the people that's in my section, right, don't even will tell me what is the part for the Delta variants that the COVID-19 kind of flushed itself out. It like morphed itself into something else, right? So, but it's nothing that says it's for this new variant of the
So let me
Delta
chime in on that.
variant.
Yeah,
And
so,
the MU, whatever how you pronounce that, MU.
So let's chime in on that. So when they asked the country, when they said if they wanted at a certain time, I think it was before the summer, it was before May or June, that
yeah,
they
everybody was
wanted
going to
a
be able to
certain
get.
percentage of the country to be vaccinated, and they felt like that was going to help things. Well, and speaking of that, then right after that, and the country almost got to where they needed it to be, then the Delta variant came, and it proved to be just as deadly as they said that it were going to be. We can go round and round the circle with it, but it is what it is. It's a pandemic. This shit is going to get worse. We're going to have multiple strands of a variant. and there's nothing we really can do about it.
Exactly.
There's absolutely fucking nothing we can do about it because we can't control the Delta variant. The Delta variant proved to be as worse as the original COVID, period. And it was affecting little kids
Yeah. So and
really, really bad.
and
So
this is what I'm saying.
I just think
This
either
is
way that, yes, Keith said, no, viruses are not going to go anywhere. And yes, they are going to have to keep on producing more and more. And I definitely get your standpoint on about it, Frank, that, again, you don't want to take it, you don't want to take it. But
No, I ain't tripping that. I'm saying no, they not gonna
oh,
stop
but
making
but
that
but
shit.
but
They got
but
rivers of that
but
shit.
I but I think in the midst of trying to get everybody on board to actually get the shot, then the Delta variant came. In the little leeway that it made, it just pushed that shit back.
So
So
yeah.
here we are.
So and that's why I
what I want
said
to say to
not
Nick, to what
not
Nick was saying,
really think.
what I want to say to what Nick was saying, right, is that you got to think of it in terms of this, right? Well, first of all, we think of it in such deadly terms because it kills motherfuckers, right? And it has killed motherfuckers, and the deaths has been publicized real big in the fucking media, right? But influenza, when it first showed up, it killed just as many motherfuckers, right? They developed a fucking vaccine for it. And then every year, the flu, it has a fucking, it migrate. What is the word I'm looking for, Shell?
It's different
It morphs.
variations.
You get different
like West
variations
Nile.
and shit, right?
So so right.
That's what
So
virus.
every
is.
year. No, I ain't even talking about specified deadly flus like that, right? Like swine flu and all that kind of shit, right? But I'm talking about just the regular flu, right?
Right.
And
Yeah,
the fucking
knock you down.
okay, so look, so last year it was the flu, and it was just the flu. We had no special name for it. It was just the flu, right? And 60% of Americans got a fucking flu shot, right? So the herd immunity kind of kicked in, and those that didn't get the flu shot, that got sick, we got sick for a few days, and we had a story about that shit. Man, I had flu last year. That shit knocked me the fuck down. Woo, woo. Well, that flu, it fucking morphed into next year's, right? So flu season comes around, motherfuckers going Walmart, you're gonna drive by, the bitches gonna be talking about get a flu shot for free. And it ain't the same flu shot as last year. It's a flu shot to attack the shit that flu turned into last year, right? Mm-hmm. So now you got this new variant, the Delta variant of flu, right? And we fucking come up with a fucking booster shot, flu shot that knocks that shit down. So if you do get it, you get a little sick, get a little fever and shit, but it ain't gonna knock your ass down to where you can't go to work for 2 days and shit. If you don't got the flu shot and you get that flu, this year's flu, oh nigga, you're gonna be in the fucking bed. Trust and believe, right? So you gotta look at the thing is we don't look at flu like it's no big thing. You know why? Because we used to it. And we used to motherfuckers going to get that free ass motherfucking flu shot every year. But the flu kills 65,000 motherfuckers a year.
And let's not sleep on the fact that most
65,000 motherfuckers a year die off the regular motherfucking flu, my nigga.
And let's not sleep on the fact that most people don't know they have the flu. So
niggas just say got a bad cold.
So that with the combination of it turning deadly into pneumonia, and then you don't fucking know you got pneumonia, so then you got
to go to the hospital
on you, and then you could die.
Yeah.
So that's just how it be. Like how many times we were sick, we wasn't feeling good. How many times we said it, man, I probably got the flu, but we didn't go get it checked to like start some antibiotics or nothing like that because we just figured we had the flu. Hardly. And in the midst of trying to ward it off, then you gotta think about it. While we sitting there saying, I think I might have the flu and refusing to go to urgent care and get some antibiotics to try to get that shit out the system, then we can fucking pass it to everybody else in the family. So now all the kids sick. And I just feel like we gotta do better. Well, with this it's taught
So
us to not with this it's taught us to stop sleeping on things. And there are people that's gonna have buku underlying conditions that are not gonna be able to take most things. I definitely get that.
Right, I get
But
it too.
but I think we
But
gotta
here,
we
here,
but
here,
as a whole
just
though, I think we got it. We got either we're gonna do that or we're gonna start taking all the multivitamins. We're gonna make sure we start taking that zinc. We're gonna make sure that we can be the healthiest specimens that we can be. But I do know that we can't just with like you said that flu last year, that last year flu turned into this year flu. And what we can't do is it's like for a week be like, man, I think I might have the flu. You might want to go get it checked out. You might want to go ahead and get that
so
little stuff in your nose and let them test that shit and go ahead and start some antibiotics or something like that because I just find that we be in a state of where we like everybody in the house. How many times you get sick and then get sick again? We constantly just passing it.
Not me.
yeah. So
I
look,
mean,
so
I
my
done had
my
that happen to me
main
before.
concern,
Been in the
right,
house with my sister and her
is what
kids
I
for
just
that week. I was sick one week. My mama was sick next week. I sleep with my mama when I go to visit them, and then my mama's sick, and then before we realized that the kids sick, and then after everybody kind of get good, then my mama's sick again because her resistance low and she caught it again. So
I got 2 kids,
so
shout out
my
to
a
my
main
wife,
cousin Marvin
with
Faye.
all types of crazy ass immune systems. And I don't ever
Mama
get
Faye.
sick.
So look,
And when
my
I
main
say never,
concern
I
is
mean
y'all,
ever.
Frank,
and
I got you, Frank. You ain't the norm. You some type of
I'm
Superman that
not.
shows
I'm
resistance.
really
I
not.
give you that.
Like I
You
literally walk through this shit a
you're
whole
not
lot. Like my
you
kids
the exception. You the
are the
exception to the rule.
same germ
Can't
spreading
count
kids
you.
like
Franklin
everybody else's
and
kids.
Can't
Nigga.
count you,
What
bro. Most people not you. Most people getting fucking sick.
what I say,
Yeah,
you know
no,
what?
I'm just saying.
Frankie,
I
listen,
don't
bro,
have those
and
That's why
experiences.
I said you the exception to the rule.
I know exactly where Frank is coming from because I'm the same kind of motherfucker. Like for years and years and years, I don't fucking get sick, right?
Right.
What I say is this, right? I say that, you know, I smoke
Right.
enough cannabis, right, to where my cannabinoid receptors is at full attention. These motherfuckers is like the frontline
Man,
scouts.
they the hidden so they're
Right?
like the ninjas of the motherfucking immune system.
Feel what I'm saying? So,
Go ahead.
as, so
Go
as
ahead and
soon
throw
as
in the key plug.
look, so as soon as something foreign jump in my body, cannabinoids is on full motherfucking alert. They're like, what the fuck is this? And they send a message back.
Ninja stars.
Look, they send a message back to them white blood cells, them T cells and shit, right? Them motherfuckers show up on the front line before a nigga get time to set up shop, right? You ain't even pitched a tent in the forest. And the T
If you
cells
gonna
is
do
on
that,
your ass, right?
I'm
if
telling
you
you.
gonna do that, you gotta change hats. You gotta do the key plug. If you gonna start talking about it, because this was a segue
Yeah,
into
and
what you
Skybox
just did.
Organics got the
So you
best ninjas
gotta
in
Trying to
change
town.
say, I'm just
instead
trying to
of
say,
And Skybox
yeah,
Organics got the best ninjas in town. Take
get
that.
rid of that stuff. And you gotta
best
put on the
ninjas
head.
in
You gotta
town.
put on the cheap head. You gotta do the cheap plug for it. You just can't. Oh, you gotta put it. You gotta do the cheap plug, bro.
Now
So,
let me give my opinion on the COVID
but
joint though, right?
Go ahead.
So right quick, me, I am me. So I'm gonna be one of the motherfuckers that's on the shield, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
oh Lord,
Period. Nigga, I'm on the shield. They would have to literally force me. I'm just not for motherfuckers putting foreign bodies in my stuff in my body. I'm just not with that shit. And it's like doing myself with a tattoo needle or something. But I'm alright with that though. I'm just, it's gonna have to hit me like a wave, goddamn it, literally. Or a brick wall, one of the two. 'Cause I can ride waves. Can't ride no big. It's gonna have to hit me like a crate challenge, nigga. How about that?
so remember this day. What's the to September the 30th, right? I'm just waiting for the mini camouflage to show up and taking over our cities. It's gonna take over
well,
our state. So
if
you know,
if if if
I'm saying, you know,
if you keep having enough motherfuckers saying that they don't give a fuck about killing the next motherfucker on some casual shit, Then you ain't got very long to wait, brother.
Right?
That's what
Right?
I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, right? I could clearly see it fucking coming. That you know what I'm saying that the like the city and states is going to break down where the government is going to come in and either one or two things, either have a freaking lockdown while you're in the house until you ready to come out to go get this shot, right? Or they'll come up right up to your doorstep. You know what I'm saying? Then the next thing is keep on educating ourselves on the downfall of this society situation, right? Because although they're saying that it's global, yeah, it's an actual global thing, right? But um, what you just said too that we had so much of it that we was trying to monopolize the whole thing. So is that a declaration of war allegedly? You know what I'm saying? Because we're not giving it up like that because we're economic power. You know what I'm saying? Or we just care that much about the people right here. That's pretty much saying that it's about to people about to lose their jobs, man. Like really. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it? You know what I'm saying? And what if something actually goes down like that, man? You know, I
I
don't know.
mean,
Maybe I feel it coming. You know what I'm saying? I'm
either
not,
way it
you
go,
know,
I'm on the side of the
I'm thinking
righteous,
out the
god damn
box.
it. That's what I'm gonna be.
You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, in the beginning, right? This, whatever this other thing is, spiritual awakening for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Or realization right now, or we just realists, or just visionaries of the actual thing that's going on. But that energy pulse that that we feel and that we actually starting to hear since I came like out of the woods and actually start, you know what I'm saying, you start sending me information, feeding me information. And I'm looking at it not as far as conspiracy theory, but just the realization that,
Literally, I'm out of the
small
woods
business is going to
though.
be closed down. People going to be at the, you know what I'm saying, people going to be at the unemployment office even more. You know what I'm saying? Or like the essential workers in the beginning, did they actually get a stimulus check or they didn't get nothing because they was actually working on the front line? You know what I'm saying? Healthcare workers that we're not going to have enough people in these hospitals just in case that this flu season coming up and people decide not to do it, but still be justice for their job is actually going to say, okay, when enough is enough. Or we're going to sit back and how we just hard headed this motherfucker, right? And say, hey, I'm going to wait it out. And the wait is almost over with. Because they're going to say, they're going to force you literally and say, you sign, or what's that thing that they say used to say, the Hippocratic oath? The betterment of the United States of the government?
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? And to serve and protect, you know what I'm saying? Firefighters and the rest of that shit. Like half of the firefighters is still here up here from all over all these states. Now they're gonna rustle all of them up from all these states that's fighting these national forest fires, dog, and get them all shot before they hit the fire line. Hmm.
Okay, I'm
You know
gonna
what I'm saying?
tell
So
y'all this, right? Because y'all know.
what
Oh,
about when the prison? What about the prison guards? If they all just walk out, who's gonna guard the prisoners? The military?
I've been in that
How about that?
situation before.
believe you me, they done ran through all these
You
situations
know
in
what
the
I'm saying?
war
So
room. Nigga,
am I
they got
being
them for it.
outlandish?
No. Because
So
they
am I
pay
being
people to think like
outlandish
that though.
with these thoughts?
Mm. No, they pay people to think like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? They pay people to think all the little circumstances, situations before they launch some shit like this because they want to know what type of backlash they gonna get before they jump off into it. That's when their head stays. They even ran through a whole simulations, a whole lot of simulations. I mean, it's a whole lot of simulations and simulations. A whole lot of situations. Fucking manually and computer wise. So believe you me, they didn't have them same situations already mapped out.
Yeah.
They don't
So
just,
Mackie, what was the
they
other part
was
in that
foreseeing,
segment?
they were foreseeing the people, other people like they had a contingency plan if all the motherfucking uh first responders like, man, fuck this shot, nigga. They had a plan for that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like they didn't have that thought about already. They'd already thought about that shit. It just so happened to go the right way and they ain't got to
Yeah.
employ that motherfucking bullshit. But believe me, they got a plan for the bullshit.
What was you saying, Nick?
Yeah. But then it goes further, right? So it goes further than that, right? So uh in that bit of information that you sent me, with the little lawyer thing, and I started looking at that, right on the bottom of it. So when the IRS is saying that they're gonna try to freeze your bank account or freeze your Venmo account stuff. What was that? You got flights off? No, they're gonna try to. The IRS is gonna infiltrate your Venmo, your PayPal's, and all the rest of that stuff, and say if it's over $500, not knowing where they're gonna get the money from. At the same time, the government's shutting down today or tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, are you affecting the people that people moving money through, the Venmo accounts and the Cash Apps and all the rest of that stuff? So they like putting a stranglehold on them. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think I'm that far out, man. But they try to keep track of everybody movements, how you getting money in this this what I'm saying, this great rush to get vaccinated or stay unvaccinated. It's a whole economical hit on that too. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to ask, what I'm saying, the people out there in the stream, what I'm saying, to kind of to weigh in on that. Like, how do they really feel about this whole little situation that we on today? I like to get some. What was that? Yeah, he disappeared at the same time, like I Dream of Jeannie. Look at that. Does it make sense when the question I'm asking, or am I tripping?
Yeah, right, Frank.
Nope.
Okay.
All right. I had smoke go up my nose, and I wasn't ready for smoke to go up my nose. That's what caused me to sneeze.
I thought we was gonna
At
have
the same
to
time,
Frank,
I'm still trying to smoke.
That's the promise. That's the problem with you amateurs and shit, right? You can't hold your mouth smoke, man. What the fuck?
Oh my god!
You heard me. I thought we were gonna have to I thought we were gonna have to like y'all say,
amateur pot smokers and shit.
But it was performing. They just stepped over all that he didn't really matter, and the show gotta go on.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And look,
like that nigga be all right. He was like, drink some milk, right?
Like,
you be okay.
Oh man, he trying to say you got the wet. You got wet, huh?
I got the Will Smith coffee though.
He said stepped out with the PCP or something, huh?
Woo, shit.
He was like, oh, Paul. So I don't know. I'm just thinking in the next couple of weeks, man, that we're about to see this, man. So,
my spirit ain't never changed, man. I'm ready for whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's who I am. It's what I am. So at the end of the day, we're gonna see what it is, man. We're gonna make it do whatever it got to do.
So Mac and Shell and Frank, y'all up on that? Where the IRS is, what I'm saying, looking at your Venmo accounts and PayPal and everything. You know what I'm saying? If you start receiving over $600, and they're gonna red flag and shit, justify the money.
I haven't heard
like $10 and $40.
Like anything else, as long as it's under what $10,000.
$20. I get shit that costs under $1
They say
cash out for.
$600.
So ain't nobody cash at me no $600. I don't even foresee it in the future
Frank,
happening.
If you try to say I'm gonna be on the lookout for like $400, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna get froze up and justify money. That's not even grand theft.
Yeah.
What's grand theft? $1,000,
I deal in small justifiable amount.
What's grand theft?
$5,000, ain't it? For grand theft?
$400.
Yeah, that's coming too, y'all.
$400 is felony. Over $400 is felony. So,
but the actual charge though, ain't it $2,000 at least for grand theft?
It's $400, nigga. I just.
Oh no, you guys are funny, but I know a different process though.
Well, what I'm saying is that
levels to this shit.
Okay, so here, let me say it differently, right? So, fucking grand larceny, right?
Right, but yeah, you know,
is a theft of $400 or more. A petite, PETIT larceny is a theft of less than $100, and it's a misdemeanor. That makes sense?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Mhm.
I mean,
We just
Yeah.
have, you know, we talk about shit in our vernacular. So nigga talk about grand larceny, we talk about a big ass larceny. Like this nigga stole 50
yeah, you
million,
can't say
nigga.
grand.
What?
No,
Nigga,
it's
that's
the word
grand
grand,
larceny,
nigga.
nigga. Don't fuck
Yeah, it's the word grand that sets it off, nigga. Put grand in front of a slam, and nigga be like, yeah.
All right, here, let me hit y'all off with this, right? We're an hour in. I'm gonna give y'all last 20 minutes. I told y'all I'm on my asshole. I told y'all so shit, right?
You already paid a warning, homie.
Mhm.
You already did
Okay.
that.
Well,
So be
here,
bang, blang. You know what I'm saying?
here you go. 2 minutes.
What is this?
Gotta watch it and find out. You can't hear it though, bro. Of course, you know. 'Cause you
Oh,
can't hear
okay,
it, right?
okay. Hold on, man.
A Berkeley professor, huh?
My bad.
Right? What we finna learn?
We about to learn some shit.
What we finna learn right now?
We
I
about
know
to
one thing.
learn some
I'm
shit.
while I'm in the woods. I'm about to get my backpack, my seeds. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll be right at the ocean front
Oh.
with some salmon and hot rocks.
That nigga
How about
said
that?
some
And some,
salmon.
and some bear friends. And a couple
Here we go,
oxen
y'all.
that you hang
Yeah.
out with.
Here
Some
we go.
deer or some shit.
Yeah.
Definitional
All right.
question. When you hear critical race theory over and over again, what should people understand? How do you define CRT?
So I first want to just make a distinction between CRT, which is a theoretical framework that I learned in graduate school or read about in graduate school, versus teaching about race and racism in American history critically. So critical race theory is a framework. It's a theoretical framework that was developed in the 1980s by
Ooh.
legal scholars to help us understand how it is that structural and racial disparities endure in our society, and how that is actually engendered in some of our laws and policies. And so the idea was to get us to think systemically, as opposed to just thinking that racism manifests by individuals just mistreating each other, that there are actual structures in our society that create these different kinds of racial gaps and racial disparities economically, in terms of housing, in terms of education. And so that's what they do, is that they actually show us how the law, how laws that are supposed to be neutral actually can promulgate or support racial disparities. That's a theoretical framework. I think what we're talking about today, though, is some contestation and conflict over how you teach about race, racial hierarchies, critically, racism in schools and society. And so the two are being conflated.
And so when you hear people talking repeatedly about critical race theory, what is your thought?
Well, I hear people talking about critical race theory. I see that as a straw man for many communities, politicians particularly, trying to shape the knowledge base and what we teach students. I think that there is some fear about raising consciousness about structural inequality, about structural racism, because it does implicate many of our practices in our society. It indicates what we would have to do differently in government. And some of that is ideological, in terms of there's a lot of resistance to how we do things to be fairer and more just in our society. So, you know, there are a number of, I read a really good article just yesterday in the New Yorker about the origins of this conflict and who's behind it. And it's a concerted effort by many on the right to mitigate the extent to which we really augment and increase the understanding of racism in our society.
Okay, so a couple of few podcasts ago, I had mentioned critical race theory, and that there was a push in local school boards and parents of a lot of these more conservative communities, challenging the school boards to ban critical race theory as part of the curriculum to be taught in less than secondary school, less than college, right? And I think that my position at the time was that, well, I was kind of trying to explain what critical race theory was and where it came from, and more specifically that it was something that was being promoted as a curriculum in law school, right, for young attorneys about to graduate from law school to be aware of the social implications that kind of follow us into 2021 from the era of slavery. And Republicans kind of jumped on the idea of critical race theory as something that would be taught to elementary and high school age kids, that the underlying principle was that America was fundamentally racist, that we were founded on racist principles, and that if you were white, Anglo-Saxon and shit, right, that you carried with you the burden of your ancestors all the way almost up to your parents being inherently racist and on a debt of humanity to people of color. And even in that ideology, which is wrong, the pushback is that, hey, we're not our grandparents. I don't own no slaves, and it is fundamentally unfair to teach my kids that our history in America, being white people, is or has been fundamentally barbaric or less than humane. What do you guys think about where we are today? Because right now, where we are is we have over 20 states that have introduced state legislation to outlaw the teaching of what they call critical race theory in up to secondary schooling, primary schooling, elementary schooling.
Can I chime in first?
Go ahead, babe.
I mean, first of all, history is history. I'm pretty sure Spain don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure French don't want you fucking talking about Napoleon Bonaparte, but they ain't taking it out they fucking books because it's what? It's history. It ain't always gonna be good. Most of it ain't fucking good. It's
especially
history.
on their part.
It's history. So and guess what? And yes, we may have kids even as people of color or minorities. We may have kids another 10 years down the line. We might actually kind of feel like that too. Like, man, I don't want my kid just thinking that. But it's history. It's history. And it's history for a reason. When I was in school, I took abundance of history. World history, Texas history, Louisiana history. History is one of those subjects that I think that we need to stop trying to fucking erase. Let's work on making it better. Let's work on not making those same mistakes. But we can't do that. Why? Because we still out here fighting for voter suppression, for voters' rights. We still out here fighting for women having a choice to have an abortion or not. We out here, they out here still fighting the fight for things that are in the Constitution already. So how can we move forward? But at the same time, y'all don't want to talk about the stuff that happened in the past. But we all want to move forward with what's right. But at the same time, we can't talk about the past either. But no, so, I even there's history when we start talking about South America in other countries where we own slaves as well.
True that. Slavery is throughout history regardless. Somebody had to build this shit.
to stop trying
So
to mess
we
with
get that out the
history and
way.
do
You
our
know what I'm
best
saying? It ain't just the
and do
black
our
people. It's not just a
best
black
to
person issue.
move on.
It has been slavery
That's what I'm
throughout
saying. You
history
know,
of
all of
all
us got
races,
all of
kinds, and
us
all of
got
that.
bloodshed in our history.
Right.
All of us do.
So listen though,
Ain't
for
nobody squeaky
But you gotta be.
clean when it comes to history.
so listen, for as long as archaeology is an actual thing, well, we're gonna know how wicked those people have been. Because if y'all can dig up history, we gonna dig up history too.
You know,
That and the
is it
fact
gonna
that
come?
you can't scrub the information age out, bro. It's out there. It's
Well,
too late.
man,
We all already know. Unless you
when
get
you
rid of the
start wanting
internet,
to
they
mess
gonna find out anyway.
when you start wanting to mess with history like that, how long it's gonna be before they don't want you to say that Jesus died on the cross? It's still history. I'm just saying, how far back y'all want to
Yes,
go? Before death or
see,
after death? Because
see,
it seems like y'all just trying to
see.
scrub everything from history.
That's what I'm saying. They cannot though, because
So
we
I
already
think
everybody
that
already know.
and what they don't realize is that
That would be a
again,
lot of
this is one
scrubbing.
of those situations that once you start on the path, then it's just a segue into something else. It's
But
a
I
segue
mean,
into more. So
and
if
you
they
have to
started doing that
consider this though.
now, yeah,
We are the controllers of our own domains in terms of what our kids know and don't know, yada yada yada, so on and so
I
forth. So,
agree.
it is imperative as Black people, especially, that we keep our history going through stories, through books, through film, through language, through writing. Don't ever let your kid, I don't care how digital this world get, don't ever let your kids learn how to read and write, nigga, or
Right.
spell. Um, because that shit's gonna be art forms that motherfuckers gonna need, eventually. Um, so I don't really put too much stake in it like that. Like, we Black, so our kids gonna know. I don't know about white kids, but our kids gonna know. But I've never been
Well,
racist,
what's gonna
so they also
happen
gonna
when
know
they
the
start
love. You know what I'm saying?
asking
They also gonna know
why
So
the
is this
love.
a
They gonna
federal
know the help.
holiday?
They gonna know to do all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna affect how my kids grow regardless, because I was raised to love. So
Right.
regardless, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get what's covering us as Black folks. I
Oh,
feel
I
so.
I
Keep on
got
loving
something for
like you've been
y'all,
loving.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
So I got something for y'all. Like I don't know why I'm on this shit today, but I'm on the shit, right? So now, first of all, right, we got to be all PC'd up. It was called indentured servants. So slavery is a bad word.
That
What
too.
they saying these days, right?
That
We
too.
enslaved
Yeah.
to whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, but now here's the thing, right? I was just talking to Mac the other day about it, like this off the thing. So, and I actually talked to my mom about it. I was like, I had a thing that popped up in my head. I was like, so what is the fear of being Black? Like it's like they actually implemented us fear of being Black, right? Now it then marched over to now Caucasian people have to fear being about Caucasian because the things that they did in the past, the whatever you want to call abominations and all that, now is the fear of being Caucasian. So either way it goes, you're right, Shell. You're right, Frank. You can't exit out of where history is. So now it's getting into the modern times where it got
Damn,
to be
nigga.
canceled.
You
Like we're not
can't
going to show
cancel
no
history.
episodes. We're not going to have no cartoons. You know what I'm saying? Like I was literally the other day,
Oh,
Muhammad Rice used to have a little genie on it, right? There's no genie on Muhammad Rice no more, right? So it's like things that are associated with the downtrodden or the face of what it is, even to the fact where it was like the Redskins can't be, whatever it was with the Native Americans, you know what I'm saying? But in our family, it's like what we call Black Indians, but it's not even cool to say Black Indians, the indigenous people that was on this island that we got a history where it goes back before the census even started in Louisiana. Like these people was already pretty much here, right?
No, they was
Or
always.
therefore, right? New Orleans, Louisiana. And what they used to call them, free people, what Anastasia was a free woman of color that they
Hey,
wanted,
great granny.
right? So they didn't have no human none to it.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying? So it's like when we start putting, and
Shout out to my
you're right,
great
Shell.
granny.
People want to live. Yeah, people. Shout
God.
out to my great granny. Look, the thing is, right? People want to live in the past, want to live for the future, but don't live in the present time. If you take what presently goes on and try to you know what I'm saying, like, you know what I'm saying, kind of neutralize it down so where nobody have to pay atonement for the things that we did because they want us to stand up as entertainers, basketball players, whatever it is. And once we start showing a dedication to that, you get canceled. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The plight of others. But not, you're right, Shell. Today is a rebirth. This year has been a rebirth of all the things that we actually thought about and that we actually, you know, fear about. Remember, I said a while ago, I said, having no fear is freedom. I had no fear about talking about it. You know what I'm saying? I had no embarrassing moments about saying that this is what I experienced. And we have to take the part like, oh, we know what it felt like. No, we heard stories about what it felt like because, you know what I'm saying? You got to say, in our family, you know what I'm saying? We had the honor to know our great grandparents, damn near our great great grandparents. You know, great 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 uncles that was there. So we actually
Yeah,
got
nigga,
the
that's a
story.
long way
You know,
back.
and
Right, he
you
did
know
go
what I'm saying?
back, but I
But I'm
mean
just,
that's real
That
still
bitch
though.
went back.
Sometimes
you know
your
what I'm saying? But
history is in
I
your
feel like he
present,
was like,
so you can't avoid that shit.
you know what I'm saying? Look, but the thing is, right? I get it from Uncle Kalu, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Francis, where he was like at that part, whatever that age was, where he was getting in knowledge. You know what I'm
Shout
saying?
out to
And
my
that part,
Kalu.
you know what I'm saying?
Showed us how to be
And the
men.
thing is, right? Yeah, and that wasn't far from, you got to say, Jim Crow Act, where they was still, you know what I'm saying? Like, they wasn't still human. You know what I'm saying? And they had to face aberration, but they looked good doing it. So they became the poster child of success. They had suits, they had things, they had their own economic thing, and they had across the Mason Dixon line. They had all, you know what I'm saying, the native people of our kind, the black churches and all the rest of that stuff. So it was infrastructure that was built with their hands.
Here,
You
let
know what
me
I'm saying?
let me
So
in,
if you can't tell people and give them inspirations, period. I don't know.
let, let me interject this into what Nick is saying right now. And just a uh, shout out to the generation and the generation before us, um, especially the men, right? And I ain't on no men versus women shit, but the men in our family set a standard that we still trying to live up to. I mean, imagine this, right? Imagine this, Frank. Imagine a cat that work hard as shit on a Saturday, right? Not on your regular job that you do Monday through Friday, on your side job that you're trying to build for yourself, you and two of your homeboys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, get done working 7 o'clock in the evening, fucking in that goddamn sun. Run to the house, take a shower, get dressed in a suit, and fucking go out and drink hard as shit till 3:30 in the morning, and stumble your ass back home, right? Driving your rook, you know what I'm saying? You driving that shit on semi-automatic, and then wake up for 7:30 in the morning to make fucking mass because you a grown ass altar boy. How about that?
How
How about
about
that? That's
no?
Yeah.
that's what we come from, my nigga. That's what we really come from. Like, and I ain't
Right, but
putting no
that's the grind though.
extras
Yeah.
Hey,
on
the
shit.
grind though. Understand
I ain't
this.
putting
Understand this.
no extras on it, right? So what I'm saying is that the shit that Nick is saying, right, is so true, and because Nick took it all the way back, right, on some fucking family foundational shit. But the shit that we, us niggas that's still alive and shit, right, shit that we was able to see and touch and kind of be in awe of, you know what I'm saying? These were men that, man, look, I'm still not living up to my Uncle Tootie and my Uncle Kalu. You know what I'm saying? I ain't
Oh
living up to
man.
my fucking Uncle Hip. I mean, not my Uncle Hip, but shit, my
Yeah.
Uncle Hip too. But I ain't living up to Uncle Bo. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Bo is still around this motherfucker
Yeah.
cracking jokes at you young ass motherfuckers that's on Facebook, right? He still got something to say to
And
your
Uncle
ass, right?
June.
And shit, I ain't as good
And
as that
Uncle
nigga
June too.
at that, right? You know what I'm
And
saying?
Uncle
So
June.
it's
You know what
always
I'm saying?
been a
From
standard that has been set, right? That kind of keeps us striving for, um, perfection. It's probably one of the reasons why Nick's dog ass is up in the fucking mountains by his motherfucking self, instead of being down here thugging it out with his guy. You know what I'm saying? This nigga's like, fuck that, nigga. I'm gonna make my shit work. I ain't gonna quit in the middle. Yeah, it's rough right now, but it's mine. You know what I'm saying, nigga? And the standard that was set is that you don't give up on your shit. You know what I'm saying, nigga? You make your shit work. The shit that you think is not working right now is just a temporary obstacle. And
right, it's gonna work if you're grinding at it.
Right.
Working on
so you just got to figure that out right now and get to the bigger shit. So that was just interjecting in what you were saying, Nick. Go ahead on, bro.
Well, let me say something about the critical race theory.
And this is okay.
No, go ahead and finish your thought. I thought you were done. Okay.
No, but I'm saying, is both of y'all right? You and Shell are right. Frank and Shell's right? Because that is what history is meant to put in the book. If we actually got together from everybody, it's a part of the history of us. These individuals that still made strides. Felicia, psychology, my grandmother, you know what I'm saying? You can go all the way down to Auntie Deanie, who first trekked to these places from Louisiana and said that they couldn't be psychologists or teachers in the 60s and 70s. Shell, just like if you had the opportunity to go to Texas by your father and make ways for yourself, but you know you come from something. So it would be a person that needs to know this knowledge that you can say, hey, look, that's the makeup from this right here.
Shout out to Auntie Deanie. Shout out to Auntie Deanie / Mama Deanie, and super shout out to Auntie Murph, who you guys don't know this because y'all was kids, right? Or, matter of fact, y'all ass wasn't even born, right? But Auntie Murph is, and this is Nick's grandma, right? Auntie Murph is the reason, the sole reason, not my mama. Auntie Murph is the reason why you guys think that I am above of average intelligence, right? I always say that I'm not. I'm not no smarter than nobody else. But what Auntie Murph taught me is she taught me how to learn. You know what I'm saying? She taught me that I'm not stuck in any perception of who I am, right? So, I mean, on the one hand, you might think that, oh, well, everybody always thought Keith was so motherfucking smart all the way from a kid. You know, he knew how to fucking spell his name at 4 and read books at fucking 5 and some more shit, right? And so you would think that that's some natural proclivity for intelligence. But what it was is prior to that, I am the result of upward mobility in our family in the late 60s, early 70s, because Auntie Murph was an elementary school teacher who strived to be something more, right? And so she was taking these fucking classes, you know what I'm saying, these college courses for child psychology. And all of us, not just me, but all of us over the years were the guinea pigs, the test subjects, right? But she took special focus on me because I had such a proclivity for wanting to fucking please, right? So you teaching me how to learn, and so I'm learning how to learn because I want to be good at whatever the fuck it is that you're trying to teach me to do. And all of us had that. So I'm not no smarter than nobody else. Just once we got to the point where there was no more Auntie Murph, I was the nigga who went to the library instead of going to the park sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I like books and information and learning new shit where everybody else kind of fell off. They kind of looked at them Saturday afternoons as work. Like you had to go to Terry and Auntie Murph's house, do all these fucking Rourke tests and this, that, and the third, IQ tests and, all this shit. And, you get fucking lunch and fucking play basketball in the backyard with Terry. You know what I'm saying? I ain't give a fuck about none of that lunch or fucking playing, none of that shit. I want to please my auntie. You know what I'm saying? So I learned how to do shit early. and it followed me in life. You know what I'm saying? So even with this shit here, you guys like Frank. I love Frank to death, right? Frank is the nigga that big ups me in public. Frank is the nigga that's gonna tell another motherfucker, nah, y'all got Mac fucked up. What you don't know is this nigga is whoop, 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 whoop. And I be saying, yeah, whatever the fuck, nigga. It's just what, you know what I'm saying? Because I get interested in something, and then I know that there ain't no shortcuts about it. You got to read every fucking thing that you can, get every piece of information that you can on a particular subject, and become expert at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of us have the potential to be brain surgeons. It might take some of us longer than others, but for rote and repetition, if you continue to do the same thing over and over, you train your muscles and your memory, you know, on what's right, how to do this thing particularly correct, right? Well, I'm just adept at that in every fucking thing that I do, right? So it ain't nothing really, really special. It's just tools that was taught to me from my Auntie Murph. So shout out to Auntie Murph, Nick's grandma, for making me everything that I am. Well, making me everything that you niggas think that I am. My mama made me everything that I really am. Because my mama was the one.
But at the same time, though, quick, especially on the critical race theory, it's for us. It's important that you highlight that because history taught you that, homeboy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Fear, unadulterated, in your face history
So both
taught
of
you
y'all
that,
was right,
homeboy.
Shell and that.
So you can't lose that shit. This shit's gonna be here. You can't write that shit down, no matter how you theorize it or talk about it or try to hide it. It's gonna always be that crazy uncle that you think is crazy because everybody tried to dumb it down. That's gonna spit some real shit, and you'll gravitate towards that real shit, and that's how that shit gonna keep going because you gonna be that crazy uncle one day, nigga. So take that. Now you can't kill history. It makes us everything that we are. So.
That's right. Shout out to
Shell, like I want to learn how to bake cakes from your mama, Shell.
You see what I'm saying? History.
Shout out to
come over and teach you how to do that.
That's in your face, man. So I mean, it'll never die. You know what I'm saying? Because for as long as we got stories to tell, we go tell our stories. That may manifest into something altogether different, but it's gonna always be righteous coming from us to ours.
So
you know what I mean?
My closing, I want to say
we ain't
this.
Closing yet. I still got to give my my opinion on the.
Yeah, but I mean, if you gotta go though.
I gotta go.
You gotta go.
I gotta go. So let me give my.
Yeah, you know, she in a whole good time zone, and she got a life now.
With the critical race thing, I think that once the people that basically want you to kill history, once they really accept the fact that this country was stolen from Indians and built on the backs of minorities. Once you realize that it was never built on the right foundation, then
maybe
that's
some shit can get right.
If you don't want to accept that this great country wasn't built great at all, and our race will say that we were mostly the people that endured the worst. I think we can all agree on that.
You're absolutely right.
Once you actually truly accept that it was never built on the right foundations, it wasn't even acquired the right way. You know, once you really just accept that, then you ain't gonna be trying to work out like that. But if you don't want to accept it, then you what you want to do is you want to turn a blind eye, and we can't do that. You know why? Because if we're gonna start doing that, we're gonna start doing it to people in our family. We're gonna start doing that, just the outsiders, the black sheep and stuff like that. You can't start turning. If you're gonna turn a blind eye like that, then it's more than history. You're gonna be turning a blind eye to.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
I like how you said because because it looked like it turns to the Caucasian European male is how everything was trying to be based on, but half of the people wasn't Caucasian European males that actually, showed up here. It actually started, making, an economical impact.
So
Because they
I
didn't know
mean,
nothing
once
when they
you
got
just
over here, so
accept
they
the
had to
fact
get their
that it
indigenous
just
people
it
ashore.
wasn't even ever done right ever. That well, until you do that, there's not going to be any true healing. Once the little healings that we thought we was able to try to do, then not now they want now they trying to suppress that. So now you got oppression all over again. Now we're back to segregation. I'm
Man, I wouldn't
right.
Oh,
mind.
you
So
just said something so cold,
I,
right? Look. Oh.
go ahead, Nick. Go ahead, Nick.
So I said that's just like trying to speak Shaka Zulu out of existence. This man developed the biggest shield, and what's that? The Oofkoof or whatever, a whole thing to take down the British, right? And they say he was a savage, but he was actually a military genius that developed a weapon, preserved his people, had everybody come together. It was a brilliant strategist, right? So we can't teach about Shaka Zulu and the British that he pretty much devastated. Did they try to come over here to the United States and do the same thing? It
I
got
think it's
ran
America
across again.
who only trying to scrub their history.
Yeah,
I ain't heard that you
you
I
know
ain't
what I'm
heard
saying?
that
Because
you're trying to, they try to do that. I ain't heard China, Japan, the Mongolians. I ain't
Because
heard, all the Ming Dynasty and all of them.
their
I ain't heard
history,
them trying to kill
their
their
history
people.
isn't as wicked as America's history.
Exactly.
America
No,
has a wicked,
nobody,
wicked
no
past.
one country history is better than the rest.
What I will say,
yeah,
my perspective on the whole critical race theory was threefold. First thing is simple, right? That this is not the last that we've heard of. That this is not the last that we will be discussing this scenario.
I agree.
Critical
wow.
race theory and the fight for critical race theory, or the fight about it, is going to become real forefront in the news, because it is such a divisive fucking instrument, right? A vehicle. So that's first. Secondly, well, the second part is two parts, right? The first thing is, I think that the whole argument about, or the whole reason why critical race theory is in the news right now, and not only in the news, but in state legislatures and the school districts and at the grassroots level, is because it is literally a Republican conspiracy, right? And I think I talked about this shit before, right? That in the aftermath of the Black Lives Matter scenario, where all the liberals and people who generally wouldn't have voted came out in support of liberal politics, and fucking liberals, conservatives lost a whole lot of seats in Congress, local politics, as well as the fucking presidency. So it was a great vehicle for them to come back and combat the whole Black Lives Matter sentiment, right? Not so much the movement, but the sentiment that America has been fundamentally unfair in its treatment of American citizens, and there needs to be some changing of the guard, right? Which kind of brings me to my second point, which is, or actually a continuation of my first point, is that America, and when I say America, I mean the political structure, the people who are the political structure, don't look like us, right? What they're doing is they are attempting not to take any accountability for the treatment that they have subjected Black folks to over the 400 and however many years we've been here in America. And what you got to understand is this, right? Let's think about it in terms of economics, right? Just financial fucking payments, right? So you had the fucking Native Americans, right? So they came in, they plundered the land, gave these motherfuckers smallpox, You know what I'm saying? Did all the fucking reprehensible shit that they did to the Native Americans, and 500 years later, they came back and they said, "Well, you know what? We're gonna give you guys some land that's yours, right? You know, it's a fucking what do you call it that we're asking for?
Reparation.
Huh?
Reparation.
Retribution.
Right. So it's a reparation. Right. So a form of reparation is we did all this foul shit to you, took all your shit, you know what I'm saying? And under our current laws, you know, that shit would have been, you know, actionable, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut out these various different portions of land all over the country and designate, you know, that this is your shit. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do with it. We're gonna give you guys some fucking bread, a whole fucking federal stipend that each one of your tribes get per year, you know what I'm saying, for you to distribute amongst your people. And you know, your reservations, as we will call it, are kind of self-governed. Now, they started off as being kind of ghettos, but now what they are is fucking casinos. Right?
Money
Every
makers.
state where there
$1
is a motherfucking reservation, there is a casino that is the greatest revenue fucking generator in that particular state, bar none. Right? And then, you know, do a little donation, give something to some schools, or, you know, have a political access fucking committee or whatever the fuck, you know, like every fucking body else.
Hey, quick side note, bro, right quick. The Seminoles brought back the Hard Rock, bro, in Florida.
Say it again.
The Seminoles brought back.
Oh, he fell out.
Fell out. I think he was saying something about the Seminoles brought
the Hard Rock back to
Florida. I don't know anything about that, but I'm gonna take that as a exactly, right? Second thing is Japanese in fucking World War II, right? Now, mind you, Japanese Americans had done nothing, and Japanese immigrants had done nothing in America. They were here trying to fucking follow the American dream.
They put them in internment camp.
Motherfuckers created the fucking internment camps and put them in there, right? Locked them up for a couple of years. This end of the war shit, right? What's up, Junior Bug? Nick's little brother, shout out.
But I gotta go, fellas, okay?
All right, sweetie. Gotta go.
Love you. Have a good one.
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for understanding.
So, no, I was saying the Seminoles in Florida brought back the Hard Rock.
Yeah,
they ain't playing. They ain't playing.
So Japanese got put in internment camps for however many years, 4, 5, 6, 8, 12 years, whatever the fuck it was. Wasn't that long, right? And at some point, the American government broke them off, you know, fucking dollars. You know, dollars and opportunity, right? Opportunities for loans or whatever the fucking shit, right? They gave them. Black people have had given the most, the biggest contribution to the building of America, with the least amount of fucking voluntariness, right? Like you literally enslaved us for the purposes of building this country, right? For fucking 300 motherfucking years. Y'all did that, right? Imagine the amount of money that if they said, okay, well, there's a big push for reparations. Remember, we talking about the power structure here, right? Talking about conservative politicians who are my age plus, right? You ain't gonna be around for very much longer. You know who is? You know who's gonna be running your shit? Your kids. And your kids don't feel the same way that you feel. They feel apologetic about the way that America have treated blacks in you know over the years, right? So from a financial standpoint, you never want to have a conversation about reparations, because once you agree to reparations, then the financial fucking burden that is placed upon this government, right, in comparison to other people who you have given reparations to, you would have to break off about a third of the fucking wealth of the fucking government, right? About a third of the wealth of the fucking country of the United States, third of the GNP, third of the fucking land mass, third of the motherfucking generational wealth, right? In order to make it right, quote unquote, right? And you ain't fucking doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because all we are right
Never.
now is motherfuckers that we the dog at the back door scratching, because we tired of being outside. We want to come inside like every motherfucking body else, like every other animal. The parakeet is inside. The motherfucking cat is inside, right? The rabbits is in a cage inside. The dog is out motherfucking side. And we scratching on the back door. And all the fucking white boys doing is saying, yeah, well, he just scratching. What he deserved to be is outside. He ain't no inside motherfucking animal. So, yeah, we'll let him scratch. We might bring his ass in for an hour. You know what I'm saying? Let him come inside. But the minute that he's sitting on the couch, get your motherfucking ass back outside, right? So we are a minor irritant to the power structure of America. And to even have the conversation about reparations and to do it in an equitable fashion would give way too much power to us, right? That's the first thing. The second thing is...
Okay.
Go ahead, Nick.
So what I was saying, you're absolutely right. This is your first name before we get too far in it. And this is where we became interesting blacks, right? Because we have found a way to get educated and actually know about this stuff. And you're right. They try to cut it short right at us. Like the 90s babies. They try to cut it out. All that stuff, Jim Crow, all that stuff, it even exists. Now, it fell back on, and we gave you the right to be entertainers, ball players. You could get a contract. You could become a YouTube sensation and get millions of dollars, $55,000 a week. Isn't that enough for you? You have to fit to express yourself. So, hey, express yourself and see what you can make out of it, right? But the one thing they forget, Mac, right, that we set the culture for music, for all the rest of this stuff that's been, like you said, been stolen from us, from all this stuff. The moment I seen that Vanity Fair thing, when they actually had artwork from the Flemish Black Tour, what's that, Basquiat or whatever, and they say, well, Jay-Z, you had it in the closet, so you hiding away black art from us, but not knowing that Russell Simmons sold his stuff and moved to another country to escape the R. Kelly situation. You know what I'm saying? That was, you know what I'm saying, the biggest one ever have on $600 million. Allegedly. Okay, allegedly. But I'm saying. So that part right there, man, that's so cold to even try to unpack what you just said, that it's going to be weeks till people really unpack that part when it's basic and simple. That, you know, from what I learned in Louisiana, though, Mac, right, that, you know, walking around New Orleans and looking at all these plaques and monuments, you know what I'm saying, and paying homage to how New Orleans was actually the first port city that everything came through from the Louisiana Purchase. That was the big fight for that whole area. Like you're right, Frank, from Florida to Alabama, Mississippi, all that, going all the way up to the Great Lakes of Michigan, right? Like, and they had people that was already here that owned all of that, right? They even said, you know, right there around the corner from Congo Square. So Congo Square is right off of St. Clair, where anybody from Louisiana know it's right by, used to be called Swagman's grocery store. So it runs right up Claiborne, right? And this is the part where you could walk, and it's a stone throw away from Uncle Francis' house. You can actually walk there, right? But on the way, it's little plaques in the street that said this is where this happened, right? But it was actually our people, the indigenous people that was here, that actually helped everything develop. Like, they even the plaque said, like, the like the rise of whatever, you know what I'm saying, all this supremacy came in the 1920s. You know what I'm saying? And you can go back and reference the birth of a nation, right? Like Southern heritage, that was a part, and that was actually democratic. And that was, you know, because we was Republicans, right? Based off, but you actually have pictures of people that was in laws, you know, that was in a different parish that was had a hue to them, a color to them, if you want to say. They pretty much, you know, made up laws and stuff from New Orleans to the state capital of Baton Rouge, and ones that actually passed, like J. Edgar Hoover, allegedly. So go ahead, Matt. Don't even teach about that. And he started a whole bunch of stuff because J. Edgar Hoover was actually, you know what I'm saying, a man of hue, what you would call African American, a native to
Man, he
this
made it
country.
that one.
What they call, what you call it? What's that word that they used to use in Louisiana? Plagos, Matt. When you
Say
could
it
pass
again.
for my mama needs to mic China.
Yeah, she might.
Carte
Yeah, I don't
blanche
know.
with the people that
You say carte blanche.
that could pass
Kate Blanchett, nigga,
for
I don't
white.
know what you're saying.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So, man, that's amazing how they try to. We had this conversation. Then who brought it up the last time, Matt? When I was trying to not teach Black history, they wanted to ban it from schools, and then it marked into this racial what?
I
Critical
did.
racial thinking. What you
I
call it?
did. That's what I was saying. When I
Yeah,
started the fucking
crazy.
when I started the subject off, is that I had talked about this shit before, about critical race theory, and kind of explained what it
Yeah.
was, where it came from, and that it was becoming at the time that we was talking about. At the time, I was explaining to the audience what CRT was. It was because you had parents who were lobbying the school board, right, not to ban any. Okay, so what critical race theory is from them, right? Not what it really is, but from the perspective of the parents who started this shit, right? Or from the perspective of the grassroots shit. Critical race theory is any curriculum taught to elementary age students, that's K through 12, that fundamentally shows America as, or shows that paints America as fundamentally racist, paints white people as fundamentally evil, right? And does not promote the fair continuity, or whatever the fuck, the equitable continuity of America as a country, right? To school kids, right? But critical race theory is not that, right? CRT is not that at all. But because it utilizes, Nick, is that you or is that Frank?
No, that was me. My bad.
I think that's
Sorry.
Frank.
Because
Hold on one second.
That
All
was
right.
the same thing.
because CRT is like one of those dog whistles, right? You say critical race theory because people don't have a fundamental understanding of what it is, where it comes from, and where the particular theory is directed to. Politicians are able to paint it as they're trying to teach your kids that America is bad, right?
Ooh,
And
okay, that's the turning point.
And remember, we're talking about kids that's kindergarten through 12th grade, right? So you're talking about up to 12 years of shaping the mentality of impressionable kids who 12 years from now are going to be the motherfuckers that are making laws, right?
Period.
So the status quo is fuck that. We don't need motherfuckers coming in changing the idea of what America is, because the consummate fucking result will be that our grandchildren will give America away. Give it to the niggers. Give it to the fucking Mexicans. Feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That is what the underlying shit is. And there's a quote. I gotta look it up, man. I forgot, and I've been drinking. But there is a Latin quote. There's a Latin quote, but translated, what it means is to appeal to the emotion rather than the intellect, right? An argument that appeals to the emotion rather than the intellect. What we're dealing with right now is a prime example of that, right? So before a person even starts to Google critical race theory, right, or YouTube it and see what comes up, right? What they'll do is they'll take the fucking the talking points or the sound bites from a particular politician. I mean, the politician got to know what the fuck they're talking about, right? They'll take the sound bites from a politician, and assume that what they're talking about is real. So when the politicians are saying, "Yeah, we got to stop these people from teaching critical race theory in our fucking schools," who wants their grandchildren to be taught that America is fundamentally evil? Then some fucking white fucking suburban mom in fucking bumfuck Idaho somewhere who don't got nothing else to do but go to the PTA meetings, school board fucking meetings, city council meetings, and shit. This is where I get to have something to say. What I got to say is fuck CRT. I don't want my kids to fucking be taught, you know what I'm saying, that we are a fundamentally racist country. And that's not what it is at all. But that's what, you know, it's like the dog whistle. Here, this is a trip. Watch this.
So is it?
Go ahead, Nick.
So would you be? So would the argument be? I said, would the argument be later on? Is right? Would it be the part where it's like this new modern cancel culture? You know what I'm saying? So we like going back to what I said before that.
I'm writing that shit down, nigga. I'm gonna start writing these Nickisms down, my nigga. That nigga said cancel culture.
Cancel culture. Yeah.
And Nick, you out of frame too.
You know, so
you out of frame.
You got me.
The other way.
Hey, you should just get knocked out of frame like the court did. And
what was you saying about the pneumatic cancel culture?
So it's like you break down that number or that algorithm. So you actually did it yourself. It's like the algorithm of the 12 years from now.
That's smart though.
Like I don't know if you did it, but like the numbers is kind of gonna make it
fucking Nickism.
You know what I'm saying? Go try to match up with the going rate.
Brilliant.
You know what I'm saying? So
all
now,
the Nickisms.
You know what I'm saying? So then the thing is that you come to the part where it's gonna be mixed race now, because now it's gonna be the battle of the ones that's not dark in hue. It's gonna be light, so you can actually say, well, they ain't really black. You know what I'm saying? So do they have privilege to it? They're not. You know what I'm saying? They're not dark African. They're a little light skinned. Well, we don't know what they what we used to call bohemian looking. You know what I'm saying? We don't know if they're Caribbean, East Islanders, Rihanna lookalikes, or motherfucking Jamal Moore. Where we at? Oh, but they're allowed to get
Jamal Moore.
So it's interested blacks now, right? Okay. That's all I'm trying to say.
That nigga said Shamar Moore.
You did though. You know, the interesting looking ones, like me. I'm interesting looking.
You know what I'm
the
saying?
dumb flyers of the world. I feel you.
Yeah, but the thing is, right?
We
can
speak
here. Let me cut you off, Dick.
We can speak out of the system. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was trying to do this. What I was saying is, the suburban housewife and shit, right? That goes to these PTA meetings and she listen to the soundbite from her local politician that says some bullshit about CRT being taught in school. And she wants to go now and have her voice be heard at the school board meeting, the city council meeting. Her and 15 of her homegirls. And they get some shit put on the fucking agenda to be voted on by the fucking school board, right? But again, we were talking about that Latin phrase where I said that an argument that appeals to the emotion rather than the intellect. But the thing about it is, once again, my famous shit is Google it. Like, you have an encyclopedia in your hand, if not your pocket or your purse, that you do everything on except look for information that is pertinent to the shit that you're talking about, right? And so here,
you got me on that.
While you was talking, all I did was went to YouTube and fucking search CRT explain. Look at all the fucking shit. Yeah. It's easy to get the information. Do you really want the information?
And that's how I feel about history, my nigga. Exactly how I feel about history. It's there already. Y'all can erase that. No matter what theories you come with, it's just not gonna happen. But and also to key into your other fact, these kids nowadays, these kids growing up, different level of love, bro. Different level of love, bro. They gonna realize that the parents is full of hate, full of that bullshit. It's gonna go the way it's supposed to go regardless, bro. Niggas it's a different level of love, man. Everybody go, it's gonna be different shit.
Right. You just dropped the biscuit.
My final point.
And we're gonna get back to the thing. Go ahead.
You want to keep going? We had 2 hours.
I'm chilling.
You created a monster, but all I was saying, look.
Okay, the final thing that I was saying, we can keep going. The final thing that I was saying is that in terms of the power structure, right? The power structure and the people who identify with the power structure. Because when we think about our electoral process, right? The people who are in political position are supposed to represent the feelings, the thoughts, the ideas, the position of their particular constituents. So if the person who is having a vote in Congress is voting a particular way, then it is supposed to be that he is representative of the people in, his fucking constituency.
True.
The thing about it is that we live in a society that is majority descendants, close descendants of the motherfuckers that we are pointing the finger at as being reprehensible people in the formation of this country. So those people don't want to step up and have any accountability when it comes to the way that they have regarded blacks, specifically black people in this country since we got here, since they brought us here. What we have kind of morphed into over the 500 years, and the specific grab for power that seems to be right, barely out of our reach, but within our grasp right now. You know what I'm saying? It's I always say that the only revolution that we know about in history that has been successful has been the fucking women's fucking revolution, the women's movement in America. There has never been another movement that has come without bloodshed, mass bloodshed, right? Abuse, fire hoses, muskets, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Somebody's ass had to go, right? Right now, we are in a time, an era where revolution It's being televised, number one, and it is happening with a minimal cost to human life, right? Like the real cost of human life has been the black men who have died at the hands of the police that have kind of sparked the fucking whole Black Lives movement right now. Not the organization, but the movement. So those are the lives that have been sacrificed, but ain't nobody being hosed down, dog sicked on them, ain't nobody being fucking shot in the motherfucking street, ain't nobody fucking having to take up arms against the fucking government. And you know, we came real close to having a monumental fucking change in the way that justice is dispensed with the fucking George Floyd Act that fell in Congress but passed the House, right? So imagine the House is 435 motherfuckers representing America. And they passed the fucking act, but then 100 motherfuckers, well, 50 of them, you know, you needed 10 Republicans in order to pass the act in the Senate. And we couldn't get the 10 votes from the Republican side of the game and shit, right? But imagine that, you know, more than half of the country saying, hey, look, we need some fundamental revolutionary change going on here without there being a mass fucking fucking shit in Israel or Bosnia or Palestine or Afghanistan where, you know, you're having 100,000 motherfucking civilian casualties at the end of these motherfuckers pulling out and saying, okay, we're going to give y'all some shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that right now, what we're experiencing is the last of the pushback.
So my thing is,
the last of the pushback against trying to are against America and the power structure having to stand up and take accountability 400 years of fuckism. You know what I'm saying? In the same way that they took accountability for 4 years of Japanese internment, that they took accountability for the Native American shit. They even look, they jumped in and created the UN and carved out a whole little section of the fucking Middle East to take atonement to the shit that the Germans and the Polish did to Jewish motherfuckers that wasn't even in America. Everybody get broke off something except us. And I think that is what the pushback is about. It's not about them giving a fuck about their kids knowing that they have been some barbaric, rape and pillage ass motherfucker. Because when you put America and American fucking behavior, the way that they took America, right, and you put it up against some of the more fucking heinous invasions throughout the history of the world, you know, we ain't did a whole lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, niggas came through, you know what I'm saying? It's like the fucking Egyptians and shit, right? They enslaved motherfuckers for 1,000 years. Had them build pyramids and shit. We still don't understand how the fuck they move them rocks.
Right.
Nigga, imagine that.
What's no
like,
heavy equipment like this?
Right? We picked cotton. We picked cotton for 280 years, right? Okay, they got some thorns and shit, hot as a motherfucker, and you know they did some raping and fucking, you know, made some light-skinned niggas and some more barbaric shit. But nigga, them rocks, nigga, them rocks, nigga, them rocks, nigga.
1,000 years of rocks.
Look.
No, but
rocks. No, look, them rocks was such a bitch, right? God. Like, nigga, the real motherfucker, right? Came down and talked to a nigga and said, look, they ain't gonna believe you, but I'm gonna give you some shit that's gonna make them believe you. Nigga, you
Right.
will be able to part a motherfucking ocean.
Yeah.
Nigga, let a nigga part an
Yeah.
ocean right now.
Period.
Nigga, I'm rolling with him. I'm rolling with him. I don't give a
Yeah.
fuck what y'all talking about, right? If the nigga got on a robe and sandals and that nigga make the ocean open, I'm going that
Nigga
way
spit
with
Pacific,
him, nigga. Nigga, we rolling. I don't give a fuck what you talking about.
Hey, but man,
Them rocks,
but hey, you're
nigga.
right.
Them rocks, nigga. That was them rocks, nigga. God did that, nigga, because of them rocks.
Yeah.
God didn't give
But
a
look,
fuck
but
about
put
all the other
emphasis on
shit,
what you
being
said, right?
servants and nigga, you had 2,000 years of niggas being servants and you know what I'm saying, living in the house of Pharaoh and all that. Nigga, it was 12 of them dudes. It was 12 pharaohs, nigga, before that shit fell apart. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
you had
it took a
thousands
lot
of
to move
years
the
of these
rock.
motherfuckers, right? And nigga, it was just like, nigga, this is what we do. You know what? We still inside. We ain't got them rocks. Nigga, them rocks though.
Yeah.
Nigga.
Hey,
But
but you're right
listen
though,
to this
man.
though. The
Man,
multiple
if you think about it,
monuments that was built with them rocks though, nigga. Like you'll
Nigga.
stand the test of time, nigga.
Nigga, they
Them
carved
rocks
the
though.
Sphinx out that bitch. How you
Nigga,
carve a
look.
Sphinx? Look,
yeah.
nigga, I can't
You ain't
carve
got
a
nobody.
bird out of. I can't carve a pistol out of soap.
Nigga,
Nigga,
right.
they made
Look.
a Sphinx out of big
Yeah.
ass rock. Just one. That motherfucker ain't in
Just
two
one.
pieces, nigga. Just one.
But you're right.
Fucking play with me, nigga. Talking about
So
some
look,
slavery, nigga. They did some shit. So this little
hey,
shit
look,
over
but
here, these little couple of 100 years, really ain't shit in the bigger scheme of shit, right? But
yeah.
you broke niggas off for way less, homie. You broke
Right.
whole motherfuckers
It's
off
hard.
way less.
And if you do it right, it ain't gonna be that much of a motherfucking strain. There's a whole lot of ways you can do that.
It's
Niggas
gonna
be
go back into
appreciative,
the
like, yeah,
economy.
good looking, man. We got
My
that.
40 acres.
Shoot the right shit. Right, exactly. How are you gonna be scared to give us money? Who else we gonna spend it with?
40
Ourselves,
acres.
motherfuckers, still the
Look,
federal government. So we gonna have to
20,
keep money back anyway.
give me the 2021 version of 40 acres and a mule, right? Give me $100,000 fucking line of credit and a Cadillac, nigga. I'm in the game and shit, right? Nigga, business line of credit and a Cadillac, nigga. I just need a Cadillac, right? I don't need a whole mule.
And a cool,
Just a Cadillac, right? I'm in the game.
and a cool $250,000 for a housing voucher because we gonna need some type of land, nigga.
Give me $100K, nigga.
No,
I'm gonna
give me
make
my 40
everything
acres.
happen. Nigga, don't fucking play. I'm gonna
Right,
make
give me the
everything
40
happen,
acres.
nigga, with
But you,
100K.
You can give me
I
the
just
40
think the
acres
40
right
acres,
now.
contain
Just
a
make
home.
my cash
Look,
Okay.
check this
instead of
deal,
mule.
right?
Give me 40 acres and like 300,000.
Imagine this, right? Imagine this. I got,
So look, what you said, right?
wait,
Not even
hold
no
up, Nick.
modern
Hold up,
stuff
Nick.
can even pick up
Hold
a
up,
half
Nick.
of the
Hold
rock.
up, Nick. Hold up, Nick. So I got 100,000, right, in a Cadillac, right? So I ain't got no car note. I got 100,000 to build a business with, right? $100,000 line of credit. And the thing about it is that I know that there is 56 million motherfuckers that got 100,000 that ain't trying to build no business. They got 100,000 to spend, right? Well, guess what? My 100,000 is gonna be, 10 million quick.
Yeah.
Because the first thing I'm gonna think of is a service or a business that addresses what the fuck is you niggas that don't know nothing about business and finances gonna do with 100,000?
The money.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let me tell you
I'm
what.
gonna get that.
For 10%, I'm gonna show you what to do with 100,000. You feel what I'm saying, nigga?
Yeah. And do your books
And,
for you.
and I'm right behind you on the grander scale, though, bro.
You know?
Right behind you on the grander scale.
my nigga Jimmy, bud.
He has to throw the
Run that
Newports in there,
them
though.
Newports, nigga. Run
Have to
them
throw the
Newports.
Newports in there, though.
Yeah.
I mean, free education, shit like that. Like, there's ways they can make
but look,
amends, man. You know what I'm saying?
but the thing is, right? They're closing everything down, so your education not gonna go far right now, right? So, unless you're doing stuff to
Yeah.
get a degree in infrastructure, building these freeways, but that's about to all stop down. Even the Caltrans workers that goes to the state, but nevertheless, right? Now this is the part where Mac was like, it was by the hands of God, man. You know what I'm saying? So God just spoke through you just now. You was a vessel for God, right? Because he said, even with that, to rise above that, in a rebirth of what we have now, right? They try to stop the rebirth. They try to control it like birth control, right? You can't control. You can't change the narrative on what it was actually built on. You know what I'm saying? It was built off the back of uh not the destruction of others because we survived it, right? But the the uh the uh the mental health, right, and the struggle of everybody else. It's like they don't want nobody to struggle no more, right? But they don't want to give you basis on why we don't have to struggle because we're struggling to get what we call atonement,
What you owe us, nigga.
right? Now,
Yeah,
Mac,
what you
it's
owe us.
not nothing modern these days that can even pick up half of a rock that broke off the speaker's foot. There's no equipment that's made right now, no caterpillar, no nothing. That sucker will fall over if they try to pick up half of that rock. You literally have to blow it up. This is by hand. And then they carve symbols into it. So what was built and what was the intricate details and the paint and whatever they had to do with it. So that's what you call, and Matt, you know too, right? It was two separate parts because they got one called the Black Barrels in a different valley that's 100 miles away. You know what I'm saying? On the Nile River, right? That's unheard of. Now,
Hey man, you sharing the pond
one
with a
thing
pharaoh.
that
How about
I
that?
love what you just said. Yeah, that's the whole thing. We all are. We are. How Kendrick Lamar
Yeah.
said, if we forgot that we are the Omega, right? We are a rib of the greater being, right? That is God. You know what I'm saying? Not Jesus Christ. Talk about God. And we still gotta, you know what I'm saying, some information that we still gotta go through with that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the, like I'm going back and saying, that's the beautiful thing about growing up in Louisiana because you can actually walk down the streets. Although it's the murder capital for a long time when it wasn't televised, right? But you can actually walk down the street and get all kind of history by the plaques from the Freemasons to the Masons to the Shriners to Louis Armstrong, everything in that city, and I helped that it molded me. Then I moved right to Inglewood, 111th place, baby. You know what I'm saying? That was even more, you know what I'm saying? Because I had other people that influenced my life other than my grandfather. This everybody who lived on 111 from Arthur, King Arthur, to Fat Rat, to
John
B,
King Art.
you know what I'm saying? Bobby, you know what I'm saying? All the way down to you know what I'm saying, to the part where I kind of like earned my little stripes, you know what I'm saying? You know, TikTok and all the rest of them. Getty, you know, all these people that was just hang at the little drive-in deli around there, around the corner on Imperial. And you see
Shout
all
out to
kind of
my
stuff.
brothers
Although I know
Taco and
Mac
Scared
disappeared,
Dog.
you know
Man,
what I'm
hey, it
saying?
all
And then
boils back down to
you know,
history, my
and
nigga. Period. Can't get rid of it.
yeah. And so Mac, so how can they even entertain the thought about trying to even take that out of existence, dog? I can't. I'm saying, how can you even just go to that? You know what I'm saying? Even forming a lesson plan or taking that part out when it's the basis of everything. What would you call it? Base theory? It's not a theory, it actually happens. You know what
Well,
I'm saying? So what was the other thing that you just say? It's not base
well,
theory, but it's like
so basically, the way that they had started talking about CRT, critical race theory, and the way that it kind of drizzled down into local politics, starting at the grassroots. Like I said, shit started at the school boards, right? Now it's in the state legislatures in 20 different states, right? But what it started out as taking uh, a misinterpretation of what CRT was, right? And the idea that it would be taught as a curriculum But in law school, right? And then taking that whole idea and misrepresenting it to the local constituents that, hey, this Black Lives Matter shit is going too far. They're giving our government away. Have you heard about this CRT, this critical race theory? It is reverse racism. It teaches that America is racist fundamentally, and that historically we have been nothing but evil people, and they're teaching this to our kids, which puts a battery in the pack of the suburban mom, conservative suburban mom, to go in and make a stink at the school board. So now, even though this is not that's taught in fucking junior high school, we'll just say, or high school.
Right.
Okay.
CRT is not taught in high school. The way that it comes across is, yeah, they're trying to teach critical race theory, and it's disguised as a variety of different examples in historical curriculum, right? So you can't teach that George. I'm about to say George Jefferson. George Washington was a slave owner, or Thomas Jefferson was a slave owner. You can't teach that.
Abraham Lincoln was slave owner.
Yeah, you can't teach when the fucking Spanish came over here, or whatever the fuck, right? When the Mayflower and all them came over here, that they were fucking boats full of criminals, right? Escaping persecution or under the guise of religious persecution, right? You can't teach all of the atrocities, specific atrocities that happened during the period of slavery, right? You can teach that slavery was a period of time that existed and it was not good. But in terms of the specific things that were perpetrated against Africans when they were brought over here, the whole fucking, all the deaths and the fucking inhumane treatment during the Middle Passage, none of that can be taught, right? Well, it's at the point right now where the legislature is being fucking promoted or being put on a ballot for vote in 20 different states, that you cannot teach these things at the elementary school age of schooling, all the way up to 12th grade. Secondary school, you choose what class you get. So if you choose to take a fucking class that teaches any elements of what they are terming critical race theory, then it's okay. But any elements that they term critical race theory, you can't teach in 12th through kindergarten, even though it's not critical race theory.
Wow.
And critical race theory, the thing about it, why it is so important to be taught in the manner that it is prescribed to law school students, right? And I think it might be second or third
argument
of students, right? Is that you get to look at the fundamental effect. Okay, so the way that you battle, if you're a mainstream American, the way that you battle anybody that asks you to hold yourself accountable for the history of racism that was found in slavery, you say, shit, I ain't had no fucking slaves, wasn't born when there was no slaves. My grandmama didn't have no motherfucking slaves. So that shit don't got nothing to do with me, right? But what CRT does is it breaks down all the financial, social, economic, mental, fucking healthcare, all the different issues that we deal with in 2021 that can be traced back to slavery and Jim Crow in the way that we would regard it as people or less than people, right? So everything has a fucking historical trace, right? Like anything that we, okay, just to make it easy and shit, right? So right now, if 3 white dudes get mad because I whistle at a fucking white woman, and they fucking hang my ass up on a fucking tree, the ass is going to the penitentiary for 1,000 years, right? 50 years ago,
Yeah.
they would take pictures.
Yeah.
Feel what I'm saying?
With little
So
kids smiling in front of it.
Right. So what I'm saying is that society changed. What was acceptable in society has changed over a period of years, right? But the idea, right, of me doing something that is offensive to the mainstream, right, and being punished for it in a very detrimental way still lives with me, right? So if I get drunk in a bar and have a fucking bar fight, right? Well, white boys have bar fights all the fucking time, especially in honky tonk bars. Police don't never get called or nothing. I'm going to jail. And I might get choked out on the way to jail. You feel what I'm saying? And all that kind of it stems back to, I could trace that mentality. I could trace the actual behavior that we have witnessed, like niggas get killed, you know what I'm saying, by the police, unarmed. You can trace that shit back to the way, the mentality that they had about us all the way back in slavery, Jim Crow, fucking civil rights movement, you know what I'm saying, Black Panther fucking party movements. You know, you can trace it. It's a historical trace. And it's still having a profound effect on the way that I'm treated today. And that needs to be taught to young lawyers. Young lawyers need to know that, because remember, the judiciary is 1/3 of the branch of government, right? You got 3 branches of government. It's not just what the motherfuckers in the legislature think. You know what I'm saying? It's not just what the president thinks.
That's why we have an attorney general. That's why we have an attorney general.
Exactly. And most of the people who are in the legislative branch of government are lawyers. Lawyers turn politicians, right? Motherfuckers. So you want them to have the understanding that the laws that you make and the laws that you argue in court, and more importantly in the Supreme Court, that is made up of 9 lawyers, right? You want these motherfuckers in 50 years to be people who understand that there's a historical connection to whatever it is, whatever law that's trying to be passed, whatever case that's being argued, if there's a historical connection back to slavery. You want a motherfucker to know that. I don't give a fuck if my nephew, who is in the 11th grade, knows about that type of shit. I just want this motherfucker to be a well-mannered fucking a good citizen, right? Nigga, go get a job.
Get out of high school.
Right, get out of high school. Don't go to jail. Don't beat your wife. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, smoke weed in the house. You feel what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck about.
So I got,
you know, You got what?
So Matt, I got something to blow that whole thing up. You hear me? I got something, some new Nickism shit, right? You just sparked the monster right now with this conversation. Y'all ready, Frank? I'm gonna take y'all down a rabbit hole. So first of all, 2021, it was a so-called insurrection at the Capitol building, right? Ain't no Civil War had came in where they brought a Confederate flag into the White House, pretty much stabbing people. You know what I'm saying? So this thing that you actually talked about, you know what I'm saying? That it's the greatest thing. It was a little bloodshed, right? But it was the greatest travesty in America, because the Civil War didn't even allow them to get into that place with this Confederate flag. That's a General E. Lee battle flag, right? Second of all, right? You had so many people making so many laws that had the seats under surge. It was like the Steven Seagal movie, right? Now, for the next 50 years, you think we're going to put that on the back burner, and it just happened a year ago? You know what I'm saying? We're the president that said, we're going to fight to the end. I'm false. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting, you know, bamboozled, as we want to call it, out of my job. So y'all walk right down the street Now we know ain't nobody. Look, I know. I imagine allegedly they got miniguns on top of that damn park. If they could, if they have the one thing that was that was implemented was the Homeland Security Act, right? That you have the right to protect the integrity of the U.S. government by any means necessary, right? It should have been, you know, that even if they got intelligence agencies that had people out there, but as soon as you seen the people walking, they should have mobilized anything. Now, do you think when the march, the Million Man March, and allegedly Farrakhan would have said, "Hey, we're gonna walk right across the street," and said, "We're gonna take this over and take over the house," that it would have been the same thing. No, it was presidential. It was the Million Man March. We had 1 million people out there that could have just turned around and said, "Today is the day. Enough is enough. God damn it." Martin Luther King was here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was here. We're gonna make a point that we have 1 million people here. We decided at this particular time and moment in time that we're gonna walk over here and take everything over. How they like that? Now, let's morph into this right here, right? That did any new laws come about with that? So are they not going to talk about these recent events? And then, right, do we actually, like you said, those branches of government, right? Now, is it anybody over here that could actually change, get elected, or rich enough that could call down there and change public policy from some soccer mom that made it go to 20 states? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever, how many states, right? Now, do people, can you all come collectively? Can the buyer alley come collectively and say, hey, do I have enough bread with all of us? You know what I'm saying? Or what they call, they got battle against the super PACs. All these big pharmaceutical companies, Walmarts, all the rest of this stuff to actually say, hey, it got to be known because we do have Black History Month. We do have Columbus Day. All these other holidays that we get paid off, government paid holidays, that was a direct result of people suffering. We need a day off from this shit. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to take a whole curriculum out off of it. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, what are they really trying to say? That this, like I said, it's an algorithm, it's a number to say, hey, we're going to speak this out of existence and trying to clean it up for the people. Do we got money for it, or do we have case law for it now? And I like how you brought it up so cold because it's an argument on that lawyers have to say, is it a class action lawsuit now? They didn't even take away our rights of history. When are they going to stop that now?
See, that's
When are
what
they
I'm
going to
saying,
stop that
man.
now?
They can't because
You know
law
what
is
I'm saying?
based on history. Law is based on history.
You know what I'm saying? No,
So
that's like us say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Whoever came up with, well, we're going to change the King James Bible right now. So we're going to take all these artifacts.
Damn, nigga went out.
oh,
That's hilarious. Well, I guess that's just good a place as any.
great
to
note to
fucking
end
go out.
on,
We had
right?
2.5 hours and shit. Probably the longest fucking podcast.
Hey, this is just great material to chop up, though, bro. That's all.
Right, I was about to say
More
that.
material to chop
Make a
up.
bunch of clips out of this shit.
Right.
Oh, look, my nigga pop back in.
Look,
Hop
my shit just
in.
cut off, don't they? They just cut me off.
They do that to
Did I
me
get
all the
off?
time.
Hey, did they just put me on allegedly Facebook punishment because I said
We
Chase
didn't even
Nah,
know on Facebook, but they do that to me all the time.
that was the pond. The pond was like,
You know what I'm
nigga.
saying? Yeah, did I create a rift in the you know, did I create a great rift in the whole
Thank
thing? Because
you.
you know,
Love you
so
now.
the thing is, right? We can't let that, you know what I'm saying? Like, where's the people with the bread that can actually change public policy, man? You know what I'm saying? On this write up,
Ain't
because
nobody.
the history historians, all the universities that get funded by the alumni, right? It's not stepping up and saying, well, you're going to be miseducated when you get up to our program. We said it's a prerequisite that you learn this from the 11th, from middle school to right now. You know what I'm saying? So you actually getting dumbfounded, or is it going to mark where you're going to have to get homeschool on history? That's what you're saying, Matt? We have
What
to
I'm
go
saying,
outside and walk in the streets?
what I'm saying is that it's a real big push against anything that has to do with looking out for Black folks when it comes down to paying a penalty for, or paying a penance for the treatment that we've had to suffer, knowing that we I just said, we have been the absolute most important and most impactful culture of people on this face of this fucking country since these motherfuckers showed up and took it from the fucking Native Americans, period.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, with that,
Indeed.
Nick, we was closing out when we lost you.
Yeah, when you
We're
popped
at
out.
2.5 hours right now. I guess
It was a good one, though. See,
family
you got, so we got it all
up.
off our chest. How about that? I told you it's going to be blood in the water.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? I'm surprised my internet lasted this long.
yeah,
I love it.
In any event, I want to thank everybody for joining us on Facebook, YouTube Live, on Twitch stream as well. Catch us on Kingfish 104 on the Twitch. I'll put the link in the description later. Shout out to my piranhas, man. Special shout out to the mermaid, Miss Nick Moore, who got a lot on her plate right now. She's still trying to find time to pick out to give you guys a piece of her motherfucking mind and shit, right?
You know, trying to get hers in.
Right. We damn near can't do it without her, because we always need the Black woman's point of view on everything, even nigga issues.
Everything.
Sometimes.
She's a part of us.
I want to thank everybody for joining us on Facebook, YouTube Live. Like, share, subscribe. Check this here, right? We got a couple of other things that be going on, but right here on the Piranha Pod, everything will be streamed on the YouTube page as well as the Facebook Piranha Pond page. So we have, of course, Piranha Pond StreamCast live at 5/7 Central. Seems like shit, we're gonna do that shit. We're gonna do that whenever we can get all of us, or at least 3 of us, together at one time and shit. In the meantime, though, right?
Break down the segments.
In the meantime, we don't want to lose your interest, because I know that the pond is kind of integral in the days of a lot of different people. Shit that we be talking about sometimes gets you through the last little part of your day or whatever and shit. You drive home, sitting in the bathtub with a glass of wine after work or whatever the fuck. So we always want to kind of provide you with some content that is right along the same vein that you guys have kind of gotten used to with us. So you guys look forward to more episodes of Finn Talk from the Pond with my boy Nun Flyer, where
yes, sir.
He gives his in-depth analysis of Miami Dolphins football team. I know you don't want to say nothing. Nothing. Yeah.
Oh no, I mean, I'm not tripping, brother.
Yeah, I know you ain't tripping, nigga. We're gonna do a whole podcast about Frank's trek to Vegas for the fucking Raiders versus Miami game. God damn it! You see, the nigga ain't said nothing, but I just want to throw a little tidbit out there and shit. Y'all know what that looks like.
I've been having horrible football weeks the past couple of weeks anyway, so I haven't been talking much about nothing. You know what I'm
saying? Exactly.
It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
So, look out for that. Look out
You're a fanatic.
Look out for Finn Talk from the Pond. Look out for the King's Corner of the Pond. I be talking my shit, man. Y'all already know, man. I'm an information fucking glutton for information. So all the shit that you might hear about in passing. You walk by the TV and they was talking about some shit on the news, or you was driving by, and driving to work, and the Breakfast Club was talking about, some shit that happened in black culture, hip hop culture, whatever. Guess what? Kingfish Mac got a street take on everything and shit, right? So the King's Corner will be here, right here in the pond, to give you urban street look or perspective on hot topics. Also, I'm gonna throw my girl under the bus and shit, right? Because she ain't said nothing. She just made an allusion, but I'm gonna make her make a commitment and shit to you guys. So
All right. Bring that shit, put it in the air.
yeah, I'm gonna put it in the air. So you guys look out for My Sister's Keeper, tentative name, with Keena and Nick Mo, which will be a podcast where crowd controlled and my girl Nick Mo will get on and talk they shit about black women's issues. Nick Nass, my nigga Nick Nass, has been beating me over the head about trying to do something for him, where he comes in and gives his Nick-isms, on particular subjects or topics, and what I'm saying, gets his shit off. And we got a couple other things in the mix and shit that I'm not allowed to talk about right now, but we're gonna be trying to make something happen.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna cause trouble with that one.
yeah,
Do that. That's what it's for.
So you guys look forward to that. You guys really look forward to the Nickism show, because as you can see, my boy, man, Nick be needing to get his shit off, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
My boy been gone out
He
the
got-
pond and shit, man. He ain't been able to participate because of Wi-Fi and other issues for the last few times or whatever. But I've been getting a whole bar of fucking Piranha Pond talking shit, man, on my motherfucking phone at 2:30 in the morning and shit. So my nigga needs to get some shit off, as you guys can tell. That nigga be taking over a subject and take that shit into some whole other shit, get off his shit, and then bring it back to the subject again. God damn it! And that's why I say, man, the Nickisms, that shit is some real appetizing food for thought and shit, right? So you guys look
above all, my
forward.
man is brilliant, man. He's brilliant, y'all.
Not
Listen,
yet.
man. He's
Allegedly.
brilliant.
Allegedly.
No, ain't no fucking allegedly, nigga. That's the real spill right there. So you guys look forward to all these various different pieces of content that we're looking forward to putting together for you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and on a personal tip, right? I be in my feelings and shit, right? Sometimes and shit, right? And I don't be knowing it because I'm a nigga, and I don't believe that I be in my feelings, but I be sometimes posting shit, right? That be showing my disillusion with the growth of the project that we've been doing here, right? So we 63 shows in, right? And we're kind of looking for a little bit more growth. The idea of this podcast was this: that most people that we know watch podcasts that are similar to this with motherfuckers that they ain't never seen or met before in their life, and probably will never meet again in their life, but people who they know because of their particular personalities or their connection to an industry, or just some interesting talking heads and shit, sports figures or whatever the fuck. And watching these different podcasts, you become kind of invested in the personality, right? So you get to appreciate that Matt Barnes is this kind of motherfucker, and this nigga smokes weed, and we know this nigga from playing for the Lakers and the Clippers, and he actually got some shit to say about shit that don't got nothing to do with basketball and shit, right? You get invested in that kind of shit. You go to work and you say, shit, damn, did you watch the fucking Up and Smoke podcast? Oh yeah, him and Steven Jackson, they got a little thing where they woo. And you kind of support that shit, promote it. And we said that, you know what? Shit, we some intelligent motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? We got an opinion on shit, and our opinion comes from a particular place as well. We all street niggas, and the mermaid as well. She ain't no criminal, but she's a street girl. Make no mistake about it, right? She's a woldie. You know what I'm saying? The girl is from New Orleans.
For real.
Don't play no games about it, right? If you can't tell already. So we are from, of, and by street culture, and our opinions are going to come from that perspective. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter has provided us with the opportunity to put together some shit that is similar to what you guys might be invested in some motherfuckers that you ain't never gonna shake their hand. But it is comprised of niggas that, you niggas smoke weed with me, man. Y'all know me. You know what I'm saying? I got 1,061 friends on Facebook and shit, right? It was always kind of looked at that we don't give a fuck about reaching an audience of people that we don't know. We just want to reach the people that are in our friend fucking list from the 4 Facebook pages and shit, right? And we can create an audience that's big enough to generate monetization on YouTube and various other platforms and shit, and kind of keep this shit going and, make it be better. And
based off the power of our people, man.
Right, off the power of the people and shit, right? We are of, for, and by the people. Everything that we talk about is about trying to move people just like us forward, right? And just be raw about it and shit. And I'll take the fucking L. We haven't been getting the support that we expected. We have been getting support, and we appreciate it, right?
Love you for it, man.
Love you for it.
Y'all.
For us to have, basically about fucking 3,500 people and shit that have access to some shit, to a product that is, I would like to think reasonably entertaining. You know what I'm saying?
I could dance
that you would have more interest. The second part is this, and this is probably what puts me in my feelings. What we ask for from the people who know us is not your time, not your money, none of that shit. Support is in the way of, you see us doing a broadcast, or the Piranha Pond is a fucking thing. Click over to YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
Subscribe to the fucking YouTube. I don't give a damn if you never go on YouTube again. The reason why we pump the YouTube so much is because this is how we're going to monetize. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, then we're able to get ad fucking money from every time we fucking do a podcast. You guys don't have to fucking donate anything. You don't have to fucking reach in your pocket. You don't have to fucking click on every time that we go and give us fucking 2 hours and a half of your time and shit. None of that. Just please go over to YouTube, to the Piranha Pond page, the Piranha Pond StreamCast page, and click the fucking subscribe button. That's it. That's all.
We'll worry about the likes later.
Yeah. You guys will see that with just that, you will do so fucking much. It will be apparent in the product that we're able to deliver to you.
And we can put us on the map. And y'all can come with us. This is y'all.
Put us on the map. We are homegrown of the people, for the people, and by the people.
Yes, powered by the people.
Hey, but Mac, it's cold, right? Because, from my little brother to me, like all the homies from Seaside Stretch, like a lot of people I can name drop, but they all out there. Like my little brother went to school, NBA basketball player that played the NBA or whatever. We know all these people. So let's get it cracking, man. Let's see if we can.
Also, when you guys, let's get it cracking for sure. Also, when you guys are, when you click on and, if you watch it for 7 minutes, it don't matter, right? Before you click off, click the share button. Share it to your fucking news feed. You know what I'm saying? We're just trying to fucking get subs. That's all. In any event, appreciate everybody that tuned in on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch Live.
Good job, guys.
Like, share, subscribe. Y'all know the business. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Being with my piranhas. All fucking 4 of us in one room at one time together.
I didn't pop
fuck
out
around
that
and get
many
ate up.
times. I'm surprised.
That's right.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
One love.
All right, you guys. You guys know what it is. We have been live at 5 from the Piranha Pond StreamCast, and now we are